Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the A60 Show. I'll be your host, A60. And today, I know you didn't see no messages about this interview. This interview was already pre planned, actually. Um, we just took time to get it done. And I didn't want to put it out there to everybody until it actually got done and got official. Um, but this person that I'm interviewing, I hold him at a high regard. Somebody that brought me into the game. And when I say brought me into the game, meaning the tournament side of it, the teaching aspect of it, showing me a different side of softball, a mentor of mine. The conversation we having today, we've had multiple times. Nothing new, nothing different. Somebody that everybody loves, and he's still playing the game at a high level. And I hope to continue to play it at a high level. And before I introduce him, I want to give a special shout out to my Elite Learners family, Kamara Jackson, Al Watson, that my whole movement over there. I see I got great things doing with Mike Tyson. Keep doing a great job. Um, I got to give a shout out to the Queens Defenders. Shout out to Heather and Anthony D'Agostino. I appreciate you so much. Shout out to JC1 Printing. They did the A60 award last year. He'll be doing it again this year, and he's done multiple T-shirts for A60. So a special shout out to that, to my family out there in Brooklyn. My Another Level family, my Mo Better family, Black Sox family. I can go on for days, with who is who. And also, you know, RIP to those that we have lost over the years. And that's something we can't forget. Every year we lose at least one or two, and they'll never be forgotten as long as I'm on this show, as long as I have my platform. So rest in peace to all the ones that we did lose in the softball game, men and women's side. All right. Now, introducing my guest, special guest, really don't need no introduction. You know who he is. Newly inducted into the Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, doing a repeat on the A60 Show, Mr. TC himself, Tony Cherry. TC, what's up, baby?
What's going on, Al?
How you, man?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there, living day to day.
Yeah, I see. You still looking good, man. I mean, every time I see you, you lose more and more hair. Talk to me, man. What's going on?
You'll get to that point. You'll get to that point soon, buddy.
Okay, right.
You can't control it. It comes and goes, and when it goes, it goes.
Yeah, it goes. I get that. Before we get started, I want to send my condolences to you and your family on the passing of Mr. Cherry. I had an opportunity to talk to him a few times in the park. And of course, he got upset because I didn't get an Excalibur shirt, but that's another story. We will talk about that later. But Mr. Cherry was always the same, smooth, dressed down to the T, always good conversationalist. And I loved and enjoyed every conversation I've had when I come across him. And I want to send my condolences to you and your family with Mr. Cherry's passing. How are you handling that whole situation?
Um, him just not just being my pops. He was kind of like my best friend when it came to softball because he knew so many guys from the past and new guys from playing in my senior leagues and me taking him out of state, meeting some people from the South. He enjoyed it. I believe it kept him going the last 4 or 5 years. He just loved coming out, interacting with a lot of the guys, even guys on the other teams that were around older than me that came to support their teams. He could relate to them because he could talk about the old Brooklyn Dodgers and the old Yankees and, the old baseball players back then. They could talk about the old Ebbets Field and they could talk about the Polo Grounds. I never saw those fields, but he saw it at a young age, and some of the guys in the league saw it. So they could talk about those days of the Dodgers and the old Yankee Stadium and stuff like that. But when he came out to Long Island to support me, he met a lot of guys. He met a lot of people out there. He was still amazed at the age that they were, how good they could still hit the ball and play defense. He was like amazed. There's a couple of guys on my team. He fell in love with. I thought he wanted to adopt them. I think he wanted to adopt some of the guys because he was just, in his mind, he kept saying, well, they can hit like that now. What did they do 30, 40 years ago? Like, well, they always good hitting, good hitters, You bring them out, you wind them up in the back, and you put them on the field and let them go, and that's it. You don't have to, be in their ear to tell them what to do and what not to do. They know the game. They've been in big games. So he enjoyed it, and he enjoyed coming out to the John. He'd go to church on Sunday, and then he'd come straight to the park. I'm like, Dad, you want to go home and change your clothes? Nah, man. They got to see me in my suit.
He stays sharp. That is not a problem. I tell you that.
Yeah, he enjoyed everybody out there. That's what kept him going the last 4 or 5 years, because he was doing a lot of dialysis and not feeling good. He have his bad days and have his good days, but when it was time on Tuesdays and Thursdays to go out to Long Island to play, he would be dressed before me. And if I had the wrong shirt on, he'd tell me, "You're wearing the wrong shirt today." I'm like, okay. You know the schedule. You know what's going on. And even when I didn't go to the games, if I had to go out of town, my father would find his way to the park.
Wow.
To be with the Vikings and the teams out there. The people in the it meant so much to him. It kept him going, Al, for the last couple of years.
Did he play himself? Then that's one of the reasons you got into the game.
Yeah, he played in Brownsville in the 70s in that little Bessie Head Park. He played with a couple of teams. I think he played with a team called Sugar Shack. He might have played with Jake. The Impalans had Bingo and all of them. I don't think my father ever played with the Impalans, but they had other teams like the Brothers with the brothers that played with what was his name? I forgot his name. Arthur Lee. Arthur Lee and them. Arthur Lee. I don't know if he played with them, but he was with all of those guys, the Chris Degrees and the Wahoops and all of them from Brownsville. So I mean, he held his own. He might not have stood out, but he held his own. He was consistent.
Let me ask you this. Now, he watched you play, and he watched players play. Did he had a specific person? 'Cause I know you said he wanted to adopt some people. Did he have certain players that he wanted to go watch every weekend? Like, I don't want to go watch this guy play. I want to watch this guy play. Or did he just say, you know what, I'm just going to go to the park and just watch games?
Well, he used to love seeing Fatty hit when Fatty was young in his prime. Because Fatty, back down in the Brooklyn days, Fatty changed the game a little bit, because a lot of teams were playing with the man up the middle, like in senior ball, they was playing with the man up the middle. But when Fatty would come up, being young and wild and crazy, they would take that guy up the middle and move him in the outfield. So that's where we first started seeing the 4-man outfield back home in St. John's. At times they would do it for Dennis, but they did it a lot for Fatty, because Fatty could hit the ball from line to line. And he might hit it inside the park home run, but he might not touch no bases.
He's just running around.
And then back in the days when you did the appeal, you had the pitcher had to present the ball and throw the ball to the base. It wasn't no dead ball appeal, where you just go timeout, umpire blew on the runner missed first, second, or third. Back then, you had to get the ball, the pitcher, step off the mound, and throw the ball to the base that you're saying the runner missed. And so if Fatty hit a triple and Fatty stopped at third, when they would step off and throw the ball to third, Fatty take off for home. So there would be no appeal, because the third base would come off the base trying to get Fatty at home. He was wild. He was wild.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. I never heard that one.
But my father would see, like, he would come out to see Fatty hit. He liked seeing Dennis hit. A lot of the older guys. And then when I started going out to the island, he fell in love with Clem. He fell in love with Clem because I was still young, and he saw those hitters out there in Long Island, and he kept saying, he's always saying, man, them guys out here, they'll tear down that park in St. John's. Yeah, it was a different ball,
of course.
clincher. Out there in the island, they used Dudleys.
Yeah.
But they hit it. They hit it out there. And I drive home sometimes. He'd be like, man, how far did that guy hit that ball? I'm like, no, man. I said, if we'd have been in City Park, at the time I said, if we would have been in Shea Stadium, he would have hit it out of there. He was like, my goodness. Wow. He said, that guy hit the ball so far, it looked like an aspirin when it left the park. But he was amazed at that because my father played a lot of baseball when he came to New York, and they played out in Brownsville. No, they played out in Jersey, and they played a lot of baseball in Central Park. So they used to come and get him. He used to be a second baseman. He'd be an outfielder. He didn't have a strong enough arm where he played second base, but he could hit. He could hit the baseball. He learned how not to move. Even like he was telling some of my guys on the Vikings, stand still, keep that back leg still, Mm-hmm. And they look at him, they be like, oh, they probably say, oh, the old man, what is old man,
right? What is he talking about?
But he was always there. He knew the game. Another thing my father was really good at was he could go somewhere else and watch a mediocre guy on a team and tell that guy, if you come play with me, you'll be better. Because my father believed in practice, hitting practice, working on what you need to get better at, not what you're already good at. My father believed in working on whatever you need help in. Like, some guys come down and just hit the ball, but they don't work on hitting line drives and hitting the ball in spots, And he had patience with it. He worked with a lot of people. He made a lot of guys better ball players. And that's why we did win a lot back then. And then that filtered to me. That filtered to me as far as everybody can always get better. I don't care what age you're at. You can always get better. Whether you are a line drive hitter, a gap hitter, or even with your defense, being accurate with the throw from wherever else, and that just came down to me. And a lot of the guys that I deal with, they like to hit anyhow, so they don't mind coming down and taking batting practice,
When is that why you got into coaching and playing? Because of your dad, because of the teaching aspect of the game, like you said? Because, Tony, you are the same way. For guys who've played for you, you're the same way. You're coaching, you're playing, and you're teaching because you're watching all of us. Like, you into the game, but you're watching our bats. If I pop up or ground out, you're breaking down the sequence of the game. Like, this is what you should be doing. Is that where you got your stuff from your dad? Is that why you got into it?
Yeah, because like when I was playing in Brooklyn, the game was so much different in Brooklyn than it was in Long Island.
Right.
And with me being young coming out to Long Island, I was one of those young guys. I wasn't a cancer, but I was like, why is that guy hitting second? On my teams back home in New York, I hit second, third, fourth. But when I got to the island made me, educated me a lot on softball, on personalities, on just because a guy go 0 for 4. You got to really analyze how was his 0 for 4, Al? Maybe he hit the ball, line drives around the park and just hit the bad luck. But that 0 for 4 means that he hit the ball 4 times around the park. You may get a guy that went 2 for 4, but he might have hit 2 bloops over the infield. That means he ain't squaring the ball up. So a manager, a manager has to know what he is looking at when he's playing. So he can say, Al, you just hit 2 ropes and left center gap. Guy ran it down. A guy like you ran it down. And then you hit a ball on the right field line. The guy ran it down. Or then you hit a shot up the middle. And maybe this. So I'm not going to penalize you because you go 0 for 4 in the book. You hit 4 seeds. So, but some people when they do the book, you went 0 for 4. I got to take you out. wait a minute, you gotta really see what was his 0 for 4s, you know. So you gotta analyze. That's what makes it also part of the game. What a guy's doing, combinations in the game, and that's what I like. I like the learning and the teaching helps me, you know. And it works. I mean, it works because nobody wants to go out there and look crazy playing softball. Whether you're hitting, whether you're fielding, you know, and most players are going to tell you they belong out there. You know, they're like, for instance, I'll give you a good example. A guy that's on a team, a player, he'll go out there and get other guys to help his team out. But he ain't going to go out there and get a guy that's better than him in his position. You know, so you got a good second baseman. He'll go out there. He'll try to find a right center, a left fielder, a shortstop, a guy up the middle. But he ain't gonna look out there for another second baseman. you know, he ain't gonna look out for a guy that's better than him. You know,
because he's worrying about his position.
Right. That's why the managers and coaches have to do all of that. They have to say, you know what, this guy can help my team out. This guy can do this, A, B, and C. Some guys, I got some guys on my team I ain't got to say nothing to. Al, I don't have to tell them nothing. We work together as a group. I don't have to say nothing to them. They just know the game. They hit the ball all over the park. They're good teammates. Very seldom hear a lot of negative stuff coming out of them that's going to irritate other players on the team, you know, because you're going to have your bad day. You know, everybody is not going to hit 1,000. You're not going to feel every ball coming back to you. You're going to hit it. You're going to have some days out where your team is going to want you up in this spot, and you might not come through. But that don't mean I'm going to get rid of you. You know.
That's good that you brought that up. To everybody that's on right now, I appreciate you. Derek, Reg is on, Marv is on. Barry, salute to you. He's on. He said, "What's up, Tone?" Everybody is on. That's something that's interesting that I'm learning now, that I play out here, and teaching, because all the things that you guys have taught me that I try to install in some of the younger guys out here, and even some of the older guys. The team that I play, a couple of teams that I play on now, I am the oldest guy on the team, which is, it is so crazy. I go from being the youngest to being the oldest, but it is times where I'll be like, they'll be like, "Oh, you're not playing today?" "No, I'm gonna let you young guys play today. You know, I'm just here to help, to mentor, coach and teach from what I see." So I totally understand what you're saying. And I appreciate you giving me all that information about your dad. Let's switch gears a little bit, if you don't mind. Newly inducted into the Hall of Fame. Is this your first or second time? I just want to know about that, because I heard you got about 7 Hall of Fames. I just want to know. I just want to know: is it Long Island, Garden City? Is it Southampton? Which one is it?
Wow. Wow. Oh, my goodness. You're going to be telling me I'm going to have a Hall of Fame on the moon soon. I'll be the first to tell you. I ain't never left the country, let alone. But this is the second one.
Okay.
I had one from Queens. Dagger gave me one. We used to play in the Hamptons tournaments. And then this one comes from the Lisa Softball Association in Long Island. Okay. A really nice league out there. It's kind of like a gentleman's league. Okay. And the players in the league, you can tell that some of them used to be, you could tell that they used to be very good ball players. I mean, got 4 divisions, and you play 60 games. You play every Tuesday, every Thursday.
That's crazy.
4 divisions. Every team basically has a home field. Basically every team out there has their own field. They play out of the town they play in, whether it's Hempstead, Wantagh, or Baldwin. And it's a very competitive league. And then when they do the All-Star game, they take the A division and those stars, and you put them with the 4th division stars, and then the 2nd and 3rd division. So when the games are played, the games are very, very competitive.
I gotta get out there and watch one of these games, TC, next time I come home, baby.
Come out there. I mean, we use single wall bats in the league. We use a restricted tattoo ball. It's not the balls that when you go around the country, or the bats when you go around the countries that they use, like no composite bats.
Oh,
no composite bat, no double wall bats.
That's not that they're using these out here. These young boys got all these double big everything out here, titanium stitched, everything in this thing out here, boy.
And it's a gentleman's league. It's the top teams in the A division. We have another team in the A division called the Tigers, legit team. In the 60 and over league, every year they pick up somebody that just turned 60. And then you get a guy that might be on the team that's 67, 68. He can move on down to the lower division because he's up in age and whatnot. But it's, so every year, most of the good teams, they'll recruit or get a new 60 or is going to turn 60 that year, same year that you're playing. I think that's the way the league, you're eligible to play. Like if you was gonna turn 60, I believe, like say December 1st, you could play this year.
Oh, that's good.
So you 59 all the way through. I believe that's the way. I don't want the league to fine me for saying that now, but it's a very good.
I'll cover the fine, Tony. Don't worry, I'll cover your fine. I got you.
It's a very good league, man, and every team that we play the B division this year. I think it was last year too. We had to give the B division teams 5 runs. Because I guess some of the games used to get out of hand or whatever, But I mean, we didn't win the regular season this year. A lot of stuff. A lot of guys got hurt, missing stuff like that. Team wasn't strong, but the other team, the Tigers, that was in our league, a legit team. They picked up like 4 or 5 good ball players, and they could handle us. We equal with them, but they were. You could tell they were a little more hungrier toward us than we normally would be toward them. They're a legit team. We're gonna have a lot of work.
You guys were probably always on top, Tone. So you gotta get you up here. So it's how it is. Okay.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Let's do a comparison. Everybody wanted to be Excalibur. So what did everybody do? Load up their teams to try to beat you. And you know this because you've told me this. There were some games you guys came to play, and there were some guys that you came to play. There were sometimes you had to beg guys to come play.
Yeah, the complacency sets in because when you're used to winning, in sports, that's why I look at the NFL and all the years the Patriots did it. And people are like, oh, the Patriots played the AFC East. So they beat up on the Jets. They beat up on the Dolphins. And I'm like, listen, but Patriots still had big games on the road at Pittsburgh, on the road at certain teams. And they won those games on the road. So you just can't keep saying, they lucky. No, it's not luck. Because when you're a champion, you always taking everybody's best shot.
Agreed.
You're taking everybody's best shot, Especially if you go on the road, you're going to have guys that don't show up. They're going to show up for that game when you're playing, a team like the Vikings or the Tigers, and championship teams in sports. You're always going to get everybody's best shot. And my motivation was always like, okay, we playing a weak team because you hear this out back in the days. A good team playing a bad team. The good guys go, oh, I can't get up for this game. I'm playing these weak guys. I can't get up. You know how you get yourself up? Individually, you challenge yourself against that guy on the other team that's playing in your position. That's how you get yourself going. If I'm playing a real bad team, I'm going to outdo the pitcher on that team. Or my shortstop is going to be better than the other team's shortstop. Or my first baseman is going to be better than the other team's first baseman. That's how you motivate yourself.
Right. You got to look at it from a position standpoint and can be. I see what you're saying. Okay, I never looked at it that way, but that's
how you do it. That's how you do it because when you pound another team or you win, the other team is always going to remember you. You know, when I had my team down in Crochon in Bayside 30 years ago, to this day, if I go out there, they'll go, hey, you had that team out there like 20 some years ago. I'm like, wow, you remember that? He goes, yeah, you had a good team. That team knew what they was doing and stuff. And I'm like, okay. People are always watching you, Al. I don't care what you do.
You always said that. You always say
People
it.
always
You still say it.
People are always watching you. You know, I got a couple of guys on my team. They hit the ball all over the park, and people come to me and be asking me about them. I'm like, what about me?
Right. I can hit the ball too.
Yeah. I got two guys on my team, my Viking team, Claude and Jimmy Hughes. This guy hit the ball at the age they at now, like they 25 years old.
Are we talking about left-handed Claude?
Yes.
That's my guy. Tell him I need a bat. Tell me ship me one of them bats.
he got tons of them.
I know he do. That's what I said. That's why I said. That's why I said.
He might be taking batting practice right now in the garage.
You know, you took me out to Long Island, and we was playing in Eisenhower. I think that's the park. I'm not incorrect. Right behind my school, Nassau, right over there by Hofstra.
Yeah.
Mitchell
Field, Eisenhower.
Mitchell Field. You took me out there first, and then I think we wasn't playing out there with a Pharaoh again, and then he will say, "Al, you can come play with me if Tony don't bring you back out here." I said, Clark. I said, well. He was my ride, to get back out here. He was like, I'll meet you at this train station. I'll come get you. Yeah. And if he did, like I would take the train, to Hempstead and then he would come pick me up and take me to the park. And then he would tell me, like, what bat you want? I said, I like this Genesis that you swinging. Mm-hmm. He said, I will take it. I said, take it where? He said, that you take it, you use it. Get comfortable. He said, I got about 5 more. Like you said, I got about 5 more I got to test out anyway. Great guy. But as like you said, older guy who can hit the ball like that, line to line.
He's still hitting the ball.
Talk trash with the best of them.
Yeah, he still hits the ball. And this other guy, the other guy on my team, Jimmy Hughes, I'm telling you, he is a hitting machine. If I can get him to come out to my senior teams when we go down to Maryland, Virginia, I'm telling you, I really believe he would hit 900.
What?
You hear me? Al, his back control, his confidence in going from line to line. He's kind of like, I'm trying to. He's a little. I can't even say he's like Junior. He's a little. He's right around what Fatty could do. He can hit the ball down the left field line. He can hit the ball in the left center gap. He can hit the ball right field. He can hit the ball all over. He can hit the ball through the middle. He has exceptional back control. Him and Claude, they're different, but they both got enough confidence that I don't care where the game is at. I don't care what country you go to. I don't care where you drag them. It could be the weather could be, the wind could be blowing in. It could be no wind. The wind could be blowing. It don't matter for them two, with Claude and Jimmy. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, you got to come and see them hit.
No, and Tone, how do you're still playing at this high level and you're respected. How do you consistently hit, like you said, Claude and the other guy hit like that? Like, is it because they play so much? Is it because they work on their game? What does it take to get to that level of consistency, as you call it?
Well, a guy like Jimmy, a guy like Claude, me, a couple of guys that, we never really took off from playing ball, only unless we was injured. Like, if we, like Jimmy might miss a game because he might miss a month because he might have pulled a muscle going to the outfield, or we don't miss a lot. Our timing is still on because we kept playing. We never took off 3, 4, 5 years and then try to come back. That's what hurts a lot of the guys that play senior ball. They take off because of work, family, whatever the
Right,
situation may
right,
be,
right.
you know. And when they come back, it's a little different because you're a couple of years older. So your timing, you have to fine tune yourself. You have to find the right bat,
Yep.
and you have to have a good eye. You got to know when that pitch is halfway to the plate, whether you want to hit, well, that's the pitch, a pitch that you want to do what you want to do. So just because you get in the box, that don't mean you're going to be able to hit the ball where you want. It depends on where you're standing. It depends on the pitch coming in. You know, in arc, you should not strike out. I struck out the other day. I thought the pitch was outside, and I waited at 2 strikes, and the ball curved right back over and hit the plate. I had to tell my story walking back to the dugout.
Yeah, I'm glad you told the story on this show.
Yeah, you got to
Thank
be
you.
ready
Thank you.
because the wind moves the ball around, and some of these guys throw a little curve and it curves, and next thing you know, you think the ball's in the other batter's box, and you sitting in the dugout telling your story.
I think some people don't think you human, Tony. They think you
Oh.
get a hit every time you walk up to the plate, Tony.
I try to get a hit every time I get up, but sometimes it don't work. It don't work like that, you know. But it's some guys, some guys are just good hitters.
Right.
Some guys you just got to give credit to. They just good hitters. You know, I went to the Hall of Fame award, and the guy was saying, "Yeah, when a guy like Tony gets up, people stop what they're doing." Listen, when Jimmy and Claude and some of the other guys in my league, the Lisa League, when they get up, people stop what they're doing to see what they're going to do because these guys still can hit at the age they are. You know, take 30 years away from some of these guys, back to 35 years old. Some of these guys probably were exceptional hitters and had good legs up under them, still had good arms, you know. And you know, I remember a lot of these guys playing 30, 40 years ago, or they were playing on really, really good teams. And the biggest thing back then, you had to have outfielders, Al. You had to have that's why a lot of the guys love you when you came out, because you could run. You gotta have outfielders because you're gonna play so deep with that ball and bat, and you got to be able to charge the ball and get the ball into the cutoff. You can't stand out there at 305 and wait for the ball to come. You go down on one knee because some of these guys could run back there. You know,
that's right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They're taking 2, maybe 3 on you.
It's a challenge. It was a real big challenge on you going somewhere. You playing against a team you don't know them. They don't know you. They might have heard of you. You might have heard of them. So you got to do everything in an hour. You got to figure out the other team in an hour. If you don't, you're going to get blown out. That's it. Case closed. You're going to get blown out. No excuses. You got the same options that they got. If you don't come ready to play, you're going to have your excuses. You're going to be in the loser bracket. And, you know, and I just like the competition for me. That's what worked for me. I like the competition. And then when I put teams together, I knew that the teams that I put together from Brooklyn, we were a little bit behind because they use clincher balls back home. And we're going out to Long Island, we're going down there, they're using Dudleys. So we're going to be weak on defense a little bit on defense. But the guys I'm taking out there, they're going to hit, Al. They're going
to bang the ball.
We're going to hit back, you know. We might give up 20 runs, 22 runs or 23 runs, you know, but
we're going to score 30.
We're going to score, you know, and that's one thing I learned from my manager years ago. He told me, he said, Tony, if you score 32 runs, nobody's going to talk about the 25 you gave up. He said, because nobody's going to talk about the 25 you gave up. And that stuck with me for years. I'm like, when I went out there, I was like, this is a different game out here on Long Island. Guys don't bitch about, we got to hold them down. So last thing the score is 5-3. Ain't no 5-3s out there. There ain't no 5-3s out there. When you go out of town and you go out of state, ain't no 5-3 scores. You gotta be able to hang out, man. Because if you don't, you're gonna get your doors blown off. And you gotta take guys out there. That's first of all, You got to take guys out there that's not going to be intimidated by the ball. All right. And you got to take guys that's very consistent at whatever they do well. So I get a guy like you, you're a line drive hitter, but they're going to be playing you so deep. When if you hit a base hit through the middle or whatever, you got to be on second base. There's no reason why a guy like you out ain't going to be on second base. Yeah. One of the laziest guys I ever had to play.
I want to hear this one. I hope everybody tuned in.
To this day, he's still lazy. It's Junior. Oh my goodness, Al. He's still hitting the ball like he is, but Junior runs like he is running with a refrigerator on his back sometimes. He's still hitting the ball, he's still catching the ball, but to be so skinny and so light, he is so lazy.
He still got that glove?
He's still doing the Willie Mays say hey catch and the basket catch and all that stuff, you know. And listen, Larry gets on him because they play with us in the Lisa League. Larry still gets on him. Larry, Junior, one time, like 2 weeks ago, Junior had already got to second base. Got Claude and me up next. Ball's in the infield. Junior takes off for third. They tag him out. So I go to Junior, and Larry's looking at him, shaking his head like, what's wrong with you? So I told Junior, we don't do that over here with the Vikings, Junior. You get the second, you got Claude and me up. You stay at second base. You're going to come in. Junior said, my bad. I'm like, don't bring them bad habits from the Bees over here to the Vikings. Don't. I tell him, don't bring them bad habits, you know. But Junior's a good teammate. He's a really good.
That's good to hear. He's still playing.
Yeah, he's you know, Larry gets up in him. Larry, sometimes Junior don't even want to come back to the dugout because Larry.
I can see Larry jumping on his back like he did with his Showtime.
Larry, you know, Reggie used to be nice, a gentleman, you know, professional. You don't want to hurt Larry. You don't want to hurt Junior's feelings. Larry ain't having that.
I can see Larry jumping in his behind.
I can see Junior telling somebody, "Could y'all bring my glove out to the field? I don't want to go back to the dugout and get it, because Larry gonna cuss me out." You know,
I don't want to even get involved with that.
Yeah, you know, but
let's talk about this. Let's talk about this Long Island organization league that you've been playing in. Tell me a little bit more about this league, Tone. Like, what does it consist of? Is it men and women? You know, and what's the competitive side of it?
Well, the Nassau League is called LISA, LISSA, Long Island Senior Softball Association. They play every Tuesdays and every Thursday. So you play 60 games. So you're playing basically 30 double hitters. Every team has their own field. You got 4 divisions. Now, in Suffolk County, further out, they also have a senior softball league out there. The only thing about them is they use one bat that we can't use. They use a Demi steel. It's a single wall bat, but it's probably the best single wall bat out. The ball will go, it goes. But both associations are good. I think LISA, the league that we're in, Nassau County, they was established maybe back in the early 1980s, something like that, maybe, or late 70s. And they're very organized. I like them. They have league meetings, I believe, every month on a Wednesday. And then they also have a 70 and over league. I don't know if I think that might be a part of LISA. I'm not sure. 70 and over. They play Monday and Wednesdays at Cadillac and Wantorf Park, I believe. Yeah. But in that league, they do a draft. You know, you just can't. I think they do a draft in that league. Everybody just can't
move all over the place.
Right. Just jump on and load up on one team. But the league is very good, man. The B division is very competitive down there. And also in LISA, when you win they reward you for the regular season more than what they call the playoffs. They don't even call it the playoffs. They call it the end of the season tournament. So because they want to reward people that get up on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings and show up for the games. They take forfeits very serious out there. They don't want teams forfeit. That's why they reward the regular season more than the playoffs. Because you know how it used to be. Guys want to just show up for the playoffs. And in this league, you have to play at least 20 games, 1/3 of the games. And it's a good league. I mean, nobody really gets hurt because like I said, you have to use a single wall bat. They use a restricted ball. So it's not like the leagues you play in back over there in Texas. Guys are just blowing up the middle with bats and balls,
I've seen more loaded bats out here than I've ever seen in my entire life. And I even, I don't even use those bats. Like I stay away from them. Like they be like, yo, come on, use one of these bats. I don't want to use that bat. I'm because I'm scared, and this is just me personally. I'm scared if somebody don't stay in front of that ball, like what it can do to them. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen pitchers get blown up, and I know you asked me if I wear a mask, and we're going to talk about that. About me pitching, and I think for me, I feel like I'm a hockey player, and it takes the excitement away from the game. I guess that's what I'm saying. If I'm gonna get hit, it's gonna be on my terms. You know what I mean? Like I didn't move or didn't react fast enough. And I think for a lot of guys that do drink, I don't drink before a game like that. If I know I'm not pitching, that's something totally different. But if I know I'm pitching, I got to be focused. I got to be here. I back up because I know where my pitch is gonna land, and I know the batter. Like I know their footwork. I know what they're aiming for, what they're trying to do. And if I hit up the middle, I don't even run. I take the out automatically because it's dangerous. You know that. You pitch. It's dangerous. And I walk back into the dugout. And a lot of guys get mad at me for doing that. But then there's about 90% of the guys that go, yo, you know what? I can respect that. I respect. I said, yo, who's trying to get hurt playing for fun? Nobody's trying to break a leg or anything out here. So that's just something that I've always took accountability for. Do I still play the outfield every once in a while? I get out there and I play the outfield. Don't throw like I used to. I still can run a ball down if I have to. Ain't trying to, but if I have to. But they'll look at me going to right field, something that you guys taught me to do. And they'll go, how you go to right field just like that simple? And I'm like, well, that's actually my better way of hitting. Pulling the ball is easy. But going this way, I had to, So I try to teach these guys that situation. You said there's women out there. Is it competitive women out there?
Well, when you go to the senior tournaments down in Maryland, Virginia, they have women's softball down there. They don't play fast pitch. It's like 6 to 10, 6 to 12 arc, but they use a smaller ball. They're using a Dudley.
I've seen that ball. Yeah, I pictured that. I'm co-ed.
They're using a smaller ball, and they hit it. The bases are 70 feet. They hit it. And when I go to these other state tournaments and they have the women's there, the women's are playing 30s, 40s, some might be 50s. And I look at them and I was like, I wonder how our girls back in the day would have played against them. The only difference I see is our girls, the sisters, the Rose, those teams, I believe they played more fast pitch, with more speed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, you might be right about that. You might be right about that. I think I've seen them play a lot of fast pitch and not arc. And I could be wrong. Renee, Regina helped me out on this. Jamila, helped me out. I know that when I watched them play, it was always straight in, fast.
Because I believe the girls back then, the girls that hit it was hitting the clincher, hitting this smaller Dudley, the ball is going to shoot. And the girls we had back in Brooklyn, they could hit. Now you slowing it up now. Now you're going to slow it up. You're giving them a better bat, giving them a better ball. So the Renees and the Almas and all of them, they're going to hit it now.
You sound 100% right on that one.
It's not coming in with
the ball game now.
Right. They can dig. They can dig down and get up in it. And hit it. Now here's the flip side. How would they handle the defense on the ball coming with more steam? Because back then they were playing on concrete, the bases were painted closer. In the tournaments, the bases are further. So even though the girl hit it, she got to run further to first base. But how is our girls in the outfield? Can they run the ball? They're not used to playing that deep. You understand? You're playing in parks here, but I believe this is what I believe. I believe they would have found a way to adjust to all of that. I think the girls back then were smart enough to, and with their coaching, because you had Peterkin, you had Steve, you had Virgil from the Zodiacs. I believe they would have got them right. It might have been a little slow at the beginning, but I think they would have figured it out. I really do.
They have Mr. T as well coaching back then. I think our girls, because they were athletes, not saying that the other ones, they would have picked up faster.
Right. I really,
you know what I mean? Because when you've seen athletes that have the knowledge of the game, but they picked it up.
Right.
Like, okay, this is what I got to do. This is what I need to work on. And then, like you said, the Peterkins, the Steves, the T's, Mr. T, they would have had them prepared.
Oh, yeah. They would have made them. And the determination from those girls would have been like, wait a minute, I'm better than this.
That's right.
That's right. I'm better than this. Because what happens is some of these teams, when they play each other, the girls get their rabbit ears. They hear what the other team is saying.
You're damn right.
So now you got a night to sleep on it, or you got another tournament down the line, and you're gonna say to yourself, no, we better than this. I believe the sisters, Rose, and the good teams, Mr. T's teams, their ego would have said, I can't wait to get to this next tournament.
Right.
I can't wait to get down there.
Especially how they did the tournament.
Yes. I believe they would have been like itching to get down there and let's do it again. Let's do it again because they were tough on each other back here in Brooklyn.
Man,
them girls was just as rough as the guys was. So I really wish I had a time machine to do all of that, like bring back that and see them, get better on the fly, step up to the challenge of it. I wish I could have seen that with all the championship teams back home from the different eras.
We can recreate this.
Oh yeah, you're gonna do what they did in the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers against the 49ers, the computer game.
I'm just saying, maybe there's a possibility we can get some of the girls together. You get some of them Long Island girls. We go out there and play. Maybe we can make it an A60 weekend and just come on out there.
Yeah, we gotta get a lot of work. Gotta put a lot of work in. Girls out there.
I'm gonna ask about 4 or 5 people. Hey, let's go out there and let's have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
One day, girls go, guys play, and have some fun.
Yeah, nice barbecue picnic. But I
don't change anything.
I would
just
really
the location.
I would have really loved to see because I see these girls now and they play and I'm like, oh, they hit, but I know it's the bat and the ball, And I would have just loved to see our girls back in the day step up to the challenge. I think their competitiveness, the Renees and all of them, I think their competitiveness would have said, it ain't gonna be this easy for them,
That's right. No, I agree. I agree.
I really do. I would have loved to see that,
Renee, get off the couch. Let's start working out now. Let's get it. Alma, Jamila, I'm calling y'all out. Let's get it together. Tone. He didn't say it, but it's a challenge out there. He wanted to see if y'all can do it. I think we should try to put that together. You know, I'm calling on them because y'all already told me to bring a team from Texas to play. They did tell me that. So here's your opportunity. Let's work on it. Let's make it happen. Tone, tell me about you playing now, right? And you see a lot of the guys playing senior ball, and I hate to use that term, senior ball, just softball in general. Do you see any of the guys now in some of the guys you saw in the past? Like, and I'm just going to give an example. Like you said, like a Creek. Is there somebody that you see out there that could, oh man, maybe at his age, Creek age,
doing that? Al, I got a guy that turned 60 on my 60 team right now. This guy's from Pennsylvania. There's two other guys. He's a catcher. His name is Kenny. You got a shortstop named Jay. They take batting practice religiously. But when they're from Pennsylvania, they play with us this year because they just turned 60. This one cat behind the plate, Kenny, I've seen him hit balls this year. I've seen guys hit balls. This guy hits it. You hear me? I've seen him hit about 4 balls over 400 feet.
Oh my God!
We was up in Syracuse. The fence was like about 310, reachable. Got an opening behind the fence, and they got a barn about another 75, 80 feet. Al, he cleared that barn. I've been going to that park for 7 years. I ain't never seen nobody clear that barn. He's hitting it at the age of 60. Now, it's shortstop, Jay, they hit it too. Now, I've seen some guys destroy the ball. Jim McGowan, that was in Queens, he used to hit the ball. I mean, he was a fireman.
I heard it.
You remember Jim McGowan brothers. Creek, you know, just raw strength, raw straw. Dennis could hit it, but Dennis could hit it, put it that way. But
yeah, we know that.
For now, I'm talking about, I ain't talking about line drive, consistency. I'm talking about get in the box and just hit it as far as you can hit it. And this guy's on my team this year, Kenny. I've seen him hit 4 balls this year that at first I thought he was using a shaved bat. I said, there's no way you can hit the ball, that kind of ball, with these kind of bats, even in senior ball, that far. So we was at one tournament about 2 months ago, and I played with my 65 team too. And these guys were on, 4 guys on this other field. They were crashing the ball, crushing the ball. I mean, they was on a soccer field, open, and they was hitting that ball about 390, I mean, it would have went out of Yankee Stadium. It would have went out of Citi Field. I mean, they're destroying the ball. So he comes over, all 3 of them. They from Pennsylvania. They come over, and they're going to be playing tomorrow with me. So they go over, and they get their bats tested. So people are saying there's no way that this guy can hit a ball that far without that bat being shaved. They go over there, and he tests his bat, and his bat wasn't shaved. So I'm saying for him to hit a Dudley that far, 410, and your bat is not shaved, that is, I mean, it's amazing how consistent he is at hitting this ball. It's not like he do it once a month. You know what I'm saying? Or he get lucky and get up in the air once a month. He's hitting them out like that in batting practice. And when they're in Pennsylvania, they don't even take batting practice on the softball field. They go to the baseball field to take batting practice because they lose the balls. They lose the balls on the softball field. They go up in the woods and shit like that. So they go on the baseball field, Al, where it's 387 and 410 straight away, and like a major league ballpark.
How you get him on your team?
He turned 60.
I had to go find him from somewhere.
He turned 60. He turned 60. And I remember we was down in Virginia Beach early in the year. Virginia Beach early in the year, the wind is always blowing in. So we taking batting practice at a park or open field before we play. And the wind is blowing in on the park we taking batting practice in. Nobody's hitting that ball out of there. The wind blowing in right off the beach. He gets up there and he hits one out of right center. He hits one out of dead center. And he hits one. And I'm saying, how the hell can you hit a ball that far into the wind? He's hitting it like the guys that be on the mic and bats, Kyle Person and all, Mike Dale and all. And he's not a big man. He just has wrist. He makes good connection where he makes the contact. And I'm out. You know me, I've seen everything.
Right.
And I'm really amazed at how all three of them could hit. The shortstop, the left field, but he hits balls that sometimes they don't even go get the damn ball. They just let the ball just roll down into the lake. He destroys the ball. He's in shape. He took care of himself, but it's amazing how he hits the ball at the age of 60 for distance.
You got to have wrist. You know that wrist. It's all in the wrist and knowing your pitch.
Wrist.
And that's another thing I wanted to ask you about batting. Do you feel the pitcher gets you out, or do you feel like you get yourself out when you're at the batter's box?
I think 80% of the time, a good hitter, he gets himself out. Especially in underhand softball. Now, I'm not talking about fast pitch. Underhand softball. I believe 80% of the time or 85% of the time, the hitter will get himself out. I don't think a pitcher is going to, unless you got a lazy umpire in there. Now, if you got a lazy umpire that don't call a height, and then the batter waiting for the umpire to call a height, and then he don't step in and he's ready, and then he got to put the ball in play because he waited for the umpire to say illegal or flat or something like that. But 80% of the time, you know what you want to do when you get in the box. Whether you want to pull hard, you want to go middle, you want to go right center. You know what you want to do. But you can't let that pitch go if it's there. Your lead, I'm sure y'all 1-1 count, right?
Yes, sir.
So
yes.
It's just like when you first step in the box, in your mind, you got to say, I took 2 pitches. First pitch I like, I'm going. I'm not going to take the pitch that's right down the plate. Then it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Then you can't pull hard if you want to pull. And everybody knows they pinch the middle, third base comes off a third first. But you got to have enough confidence in yourself to say, once I get in that box, that first pitch come, I'm going to do what I want to do with it. I'm not going to let the umpire get me out. I'm not going to let this pitcher get me out by throwing something short, but I got to chase it because I took the strike that I could have did something. So most of the time in art, the batter gets himself out, because a lot of us been playing for so long. What pitch haven't we seen?
I say that all the time to the guys that's out here. If I ground out or pop up, I said it's my fault.
Yeah,
I swung at, I dipped my shoulder, or I reached for it. It's always something. And I think out here, comparing the two, it's U-trip, not ASA.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it is on the senior circuit. I think it's straight pitch.
It's ASA.
It's ASA. So out here, they're doing a lot of trick pitching.
You faking and doing all kinds of stuff, right?
I hate it. It's horrible. And the pitch still coming 2 miles per hour. It's not changing anything. You know what I mean?
And if it crosses in U-trip, if it crosses the plate, even if it's low, it could be a strike. Because the umpires don't say nothing in U-trip. The umpires say, you got to discipline yourself. In ASA, the umpire's going to yell, illegal, flat. But in U-trip, if it's a ball, he's just going to say, ball. He ain't going to bail you out. You gotta be ready,
He would. Oh, I know. I throw something like,
Yeah, you got to be.
What? What you mean? I didn't. Okay, no problem. I got you, blue. Well, it's red out here. They red. All right, red. I got you. They wear red.
Yeah, U-Trip is more of a discipline. You got to be more disciplined at the plate. You got to really, even if you think it's flat, you still got to protect that plate because you never know what the angle of the umpire has behind you.
Agreed.
You know, sometimes the catcher blocks the umpire out because everybody that plays U-Trip all catchers don't squat. Al. Some catchers stand up, you know, behind the plate.
So you can't see.
You can't really see. So you got to protect yourself, you know.
Yeah. So, Tone, what you've been inducted into, like I said, I know I'm going back to this, and being inducted into the Hall of Fame of Queens as well as Long Island, how does that make you feel as a person who's put in the time, the work, and be appreciated at the age that you are right now? Was it what we were 105? What was it? I mean, softball years. You know what I'm saying? But just being appreciated at this age that you are, and still winning the awards that you're winning. How does that make you feel as a player still?
It makes me feel good. It makes me feel because I picked up pieces from every good hitter that I played with when I was young. Mm-hmm. I didn't join teams when I was young and go, oh, he sucks, or be envy or jealous. When I came up, I was in awe of good hitters. I liked to be around to see good hitters. So when I was coming up and I joined, I would try things to say, wait a minute, that guy hit 850. What is he doing? This is what I did when I was in my 20s. What is he doing that I'm not doing? So I would study a lot of good hitters coming up. And then I would take batting practice and I would try a lot of stuff. And I could see the difference right away of what I was doing. I mean, I was a good line drive hitter in my 20s coming up. I could hit line drive, but for me to stay on the team that I was on in Long Island, I had to hit the ball with more authority. You know what I'm saying? I had to hit the ball with more authority because they could always get somebody to hit line drive. But there's times when you got to do more than just a single. Mm-hmm. It's like when you play co-ed. You got guy, girl, guy, girl, guy, girl. If the defense holds that guy to a single, 90% of the time, that next girl is going to force that man out at second base. If she don't hit into a double play, she's going to force it. That's why it's important for that guy to get to second base.
Right. Take that force play out.
The force play out. So now, even if the girl hits a ground ball, it's not a double play. So I used to always tell guys in co-ed, yo, get to second base, hustle. That's why I couldn't have Junior on my team.
Junior now hustling behind.
Also, Junior hits the hell out of the ball. I mean, he's hit the ball near my team, but depends on where you're playing. You pick up. You don't be jealous of a good hitter that's playing with you on your team. You pick up a little bit what that guy's doing that you might be able to add to your style of hitting to make you a better ball player, And that's what I did. So it makes me feel like all the years I've been playing that a lot of people saw me play. And even at the high level I was playing at, I met a lot of friends and they figure like, you know what? They figure like, well, you know what? He was a decent guy and he was a good teammate. That's it's very important to be teammates, Al. I mean, even if you got to be able to help support the guy that's struggling. You just can't, oh, he sucks. You got to be supportive of the players that's having that bad day or that bad tournament or bad month. You need him. And
what if that guy don't want the help? What if he just wants to be that cancer stick?
Well, then that's up to the manager and the coach. They got to say, look, either you be a teammate or you move on. There's a lot of teams out here. There's a lot of teams out there. You don't have to be on my team or the team that you got. There's a lot of softball being played around wherever, the Bronx, Queens, Long Island, Jersey, Connecticut. There's a lot of softball. And go over there and be a cancer. I don't want cancers on my team.
Have you ever had to make a hard decision? from a coaching's perspective.
Yeah, sometimes I had to, especially in Brooklyn. The Brooklyn teams, you don't get that too much in Long Island. For some reason, in the egos back home were more stronger than the guys in Long Island. It seemed like the guys in Long Island understood the game better than the guys home in Brooklyn. Brooklyn seemed like when you go to Kingston and St. John's, it was a stage. It was like their Yankee Stadium. It's like, and that's the way sports is now. You look at, okay, I'm gonna give you a good example. In the NFL right now, how many touchdowns have we seen over the last 5 years where guys going into the end zone and he's doing all kind of stuff with the ball instead of taking the ball in the end zone and somebody done ran behind him, stripped the ball, he done lost, and there's no touchdown because they hot dogging. Mm-hmm. You see it almost every other week. Everybody's hot dogging it. They think the moment is just for them. And a good coach is going to pull a guy to the side and says, listen, I can't have you do that because there's always a copycat. There's always a copycat, Al. If I let you get away with something, somebody else on the team is watching that. And then when it's his turn, he's going to always say, well, you ain't do nothing to Al. Why are you disciplining me? You ain't disciplining Al. You're going to get that. You're always going to get that guy who's always looking to see what is Tony doing with Jake? What is Tony doing with Magic? What is Tony doing with Claude? Is he going to say something when they step out of line? Now, I may pull him to the side and tell him, listen, you better than that. You got to act like you did this before already. This ain't the first touchdown. This ain't the first home run. This ain't the first inside the park. I mean, act like you did it before. Because again, like I said 30 minutes ago, somebody's always watching now.
Let me ask you this question, Tone. You got a lot of friends in this game, and you coached a lot of your friends. Is it harder coaching your friends or coaching somebody you just met?
It's harder coaching sometimes maybe the new guy, because the new guy don't know how serious you are about the game. Most of the guys that I surround myself with, that I play on my team, stuff like that, they know the game. I don't have to say too much to them. Like for instance, I'll give you an example. Our Viking team. Dave Giannelli is the man. He's the coach. He has the spot. He's the head. Jimmy Hughes runs the team. He makes the lineup. All right. But then there's times when I know I have to say something to a guy on the team as being the captain of the team. Because Jimmy is a mild-mannered guy. He's very quiet. He's not one of those type of guys going to get up in your face if you lollygagging or lazy, stuff like that. But me, if it's a big game and we playing a tough team, everything is serious now. I'm serious about the game because I want to let that team know that they're gonna have hell a day with us, with my team.
Yeah.
But to do all of that, we gotta play fundamentals. We gotta hit the ball. We gotta throw the ball to the right base. We gotta hit behind the runners. It's like chess. It's like checkers.
Yeah.
So there's times when I'm gonna have to pull a guy over. Look, man, come on. You know better than that. You know better than that. The cameras ain't here today. This game is blacked out. You know better than that. And
he said the camera's blacked out.
and by that guy being selfish, he is jeopardizing the rest of the team. But maybe not hustling to the next base or doing stuff. So
Reg told me to ask you about how you feel about guys not running out grounders.
Shit, Reggie, yeah, it's I don't know, man, because when it's like the NBA have that All-Star game. People go to the All-Star game, and them guys don't play no defense. They just run up and down the court. The score is 200 to 190.
That's horrible.
It's crazy. And I'm like, come on. That's not basketball. That's not, the game has changed in sports, all sports. The game has changed. You got to play the game right because I don't know. The players are coaching the coaches now in sports, it seems like. The players are telling the coaches what to do. How many times LeBron goes to his coach and tell him what to do? Or Jordan is going to tell somebody back in the days, 5 seconds left in the game, give me the ball and everybody else get the hell out of the way. Or Kobe is going to tell you, give me the ball. I don't care if 4 guys are pulling on me. I'm taking this shot. It's a team game. You gotta believe in your teammates. And I don't. It's different now. I wouldn't want to coach now like I used to coach back then. Yeah, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
Yeah, man, I wouldn't, because old school coaching is different, than it used to be. Like I got a guy on my team, Chip. Chip has a team that plays in the Bronx on Saturday, straight in, wooden back lead and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, I go out there and I see Chip like he's gonna have an ulcer. Some of the players. I mean, look at that Chip. Chip be coaching third base,
Chip be live wire, boy.
Oh man, I said, boy, Chip. I'm like, are you really having fun doing this? And Chip is old school.
Live wire, man. Chip be live wire.
Chip is old school,
old school morals too, like you said.
Yeah, the new generation of players. If you run in a team, you got to have patience. You got to have patience because a lot of them are going to do what they want to do. They don't want to hear what nobody got to tell them. They're not coachable no more. Our days, back in the days, y'all could come up, play with the older guys. We needed y'all. We too old to run the fucking ball down in the outfield. God knows, I just you tell Reggie, we need outfielders before we need infielders because we can bring some of the outfielders and put them in. But we couldn't take no infielders and put them in the outfield.
Right.
But Reggie was smart. He knew, hey man, we playing these teams are younger than us, and we got to get some young gears in the outfield. I'm like, you damn right. Because hell, if I'm running them balls down, I'm 47 years old. Almost 50 years old. I can't run them balls down like I used to with the new technology, with the bats and the balls. You got to get guys that can go get it,
When did y'all I know the teams that you were putting together, when did you figure you needed to get younger? Like when did y'all make that decision collectively? Because you've always carried, and I'm just going off the teams that I remember. You had the Alis, the Forsters, the Derek Olivers, the Horse, and the juniors in the outfield, the Rich Murrays in the outfield. When did you guys decide that, what, like you said, get younger? When did you really feel like you needed to get younger in the outfield?
Well, Reggie was taking a team out to Virginia every Labor Day weekend because the Labor Days back home in Brooklyn, both leagues were closed for the Labor Day weekend. So Reggie was already taking some guys out there. They would play well, but they wasn't winning. I think Reggie saw writing on the wall. Reggie felt like, I got to get younger. But also what Reggie had to do, he had to get more players that were used to winning, were used to back home in these championship games back home, that they wasn't accepting losing. So that's why Reggie went out and got guys like me, Horse, Ali, Derek Oliver, because he already had Junior. He brought down Creek. He had Heavy. So now we go there. The first 2 years we go down there. We win B flight. We don't win the A flight. We win the B flight. But we want to win A. We down here to take down the big dog. And,
right.
So we noticed that you get into those games, and some of them games are high scoring. You got to have fresh legs in the outfield. It's different for the outfielders than the infielders, because the outfielders running back and forth off the field between innings. Then you're hitting. Then you're running. Then you got to run them balls down in the gaps. It's different for the outfielders. So Ali was there. Ali was getting a little old, but Ali still could hit. Junior was getting a little old, but Junior still could hit. We still could hit, but it was bringing us down with the defense a little bit. So, that's when you have to go out and look in your league and say, okay, we need help as far as stopping some ball, because there were balls that was hit that should have just been base hits that got all the way through to the gap. So instead of being a single, it was a double, triple. I'm like, no, that can't happen, because when we was hitting the same ball, they were stopping. It was a long single. You understand now? It wasn't doubles and triples. We were hitting balls that their outfielders were stopping. But when we go on the field, because we older and we playing against guys that's 10, 15 years younger than us, we can hang out with them offensively. But we would give so much back on the defense side. But, Reggie was like, I said, Reggie, you got to get guys in this lineup that are used to winning, that are used to going all the way into Sunday, playing against a team that's good and no weaker dinks. Like, no, you ain't gonna get them cream puffs down in Kingston and St. John. You playing against teams that play this game all year long. Mm-hmm. All year long. Now Reggie did have guys, Junior, we played dudley ball, but it's we're not playing it. Them guys down there are not using the clincher nowhere.
No. They playing league play all year round. So yeah.
They're playing with red dots. And if you go on that field and you ain't ready, I'm telling you, any position in that infield, your ass can get hurt. You don't believe me? Ask Butch Nelson and you ask Alley Cat. As good as
I was there when Alley Cat broke his hand.
As good as those two can play shortstop back home, it's a different animal when you go out there on that dirt, on that Dudley. But you know what? I don't think it intimidated Watson and Butch and them. I believe when they went back to the hotel that first night, in their mind, they was like, oh, hell no. Oh, no. Oh, hell no. We better than this shit. We better than this, And it was a big difference, as it went further on, because they got a taste of it. And those Butch Nelson, Watson, they got pride. They got some pride with them, they got some pride. I don't care where the game is at. They got, I just gave that guy a single. I should have had that ball easy. Or, they're not going to run in the corner and duck and get in the corner. Watson ain't going to do that. Butch Nelson ain't going to do that, Jeff was a second baseman.
Jeff Roberts.
Jeff. They were hitting some shots down here to Jeff. He had to pick it up or he gonna get chewed up.
He was picking them through. He was picking them things.
So Reggie did a good job, and Reggie listened. Reggie's smart. Reggie listened to me. He listened to Heavy. He listened to Richard, because we all in the same boat. We down here to try to win, and it ain't gonna be easy. And when you win a tournament like what's going down there, it sticks with you for the rest of your life. You might not win another one down there, but you want to have memories of who you beat, how you played, how well. It makes you feel like I've won so many tournaments. I used to get to the point when I used to go home, and if I didn't win a tournament, I felt like the weekend was a waste. I feel like I wasted money in a hotel, driving, tolls. I just felt that's how I took it. I don't know if everybody feels the same way, but that's how I feel. But when I win, and I know sometimes we have to double dip a team from Indiana or something like that, man, you feel like you're the best team in this tournament for this weekend. Next weekend, another team might win. But for this weekend,
Right.
I can say, look, it wasn't easy. Some guys might have got mad because they didn't play, but I had to go with the hot hand, man. I don't want to second. I had to go with the hot hand, and I was lucky to always surround myself with good ball players. Guys that's not going to be intimidated by the other team, what they're doing. Like, you ain't going to intimidate a guy like Jake. Jake talk a lot. Jake talk a lot. He's an aggressive guy, but you're not gonna fear a guy like Jake. Jake is going to get in that box and he's going to take his cut. Or you can get it like Heavy, or a guy like Black, a guy like Forcer. Those guys, you're not going to scare them because we don't have wars back home in Brooklyn.
Yeah. What Red said about beating Hazelwood twice for the win.
Yeah, tough team. Tough team.
I think Hazelwood was where?
They were from Virginia.
I think when you say beating teams, me and Jake talked about this on our interview the last time. The team in Glen Clove,
Minutemen Press. That was a tough team. That team had won that tournament about 3-4. The manager's name is Zimmerman. He's in my senior league. He has his team in the senior league.
We had to double dip them, if I'm not mistaken. We had to come back and beat them, So I get what you're saying. Like those type of tournaments.
You don't forget that. You don't forget those. You don't forget those type of tournaments, especially from like us, because we come out there. I used to always tell people, to me, that's a road game. Like in sports, teams try to get the home field advantage so they can have game 5 or game 7 in their yard. I used to always go, when we're going down to Maryland or Virginia, Pennsylvania, that's a road game because you got to be better than the other team. You can't sit back and hope that the Empire give you a call, or you just got to be better. My left fielder is going to be better than your left fielder. My second baseman, he's going to outplay your second baseman. That's how I look at it. My right center, he's going to outplay your right center. If I can win 7 of them matchups, I should win.
And plus, we had a disadvantage. They're playing it all year round, and we just come in for the weekend.
That's the thing when you go out of town, man.
Yeah.
But listen, if you can hit, I don't care where the game is at. The game could be on Mars. It could be on Jupiter. It could be on Venus. If you taking guys that can hit that rock, you got a better shot. Because in underhand softball, the game is built for you to score runs. It's made for you to score runs. That's why, like now, they cap it at 5 runs. You only get a certain amount of home runs. The game is made for you to score runs. In senior softball, we got to put up 5 runs per inning. That's the most. But when you get to the open inning, which is considered the 7th inning, that's all you can eat, buddy. It's a buffet. You got teams putting up 13, 14 runs in the open inning. And ain't nobody yelling and screaming, "Oh man, you just gave up 13." No, because it's your turn to do it.
You got to. You can't. Like you said, this is a hitter's game. The game is generated for you to score.
That's the way it's made.
There's no bottom line to it. Like only way you're gonna win if you outscore the other team. Doesn't matter how much defense you play, you gotta outscore the other team.
That's why, like when I used to come back and play in Kingston and St. John's, I used to say, I don't know how teams only score 4 or 5 runs in this park. How do you score 4 or 5 runs? The only way you're going to score 4 or 5 runs in that, especially Kingston. The only way you score 5 runs, your team can't hit, and you got a crafty pitcher that's getting away with a lot of stuff.
Straight in, little hump, little fast pitch here and there. Well, you didn't pick Kingston a lot. You always, chose St. John's over Kingston, I think.
Because I like the pitch. I like the pitch up in St. John's way more than I like to pitch in Kingston. What helped me a lot in Kingston was when I went and played with Mo Better. Because one thing that Chris did, what I love, that he had a lot of batting practice. So it helped me to change my swing a little bit in Kingston because the pitch was coming in with speed. And when the top teams all played each other, they didn't have no guy that's throwing the ball the way it's supposed to be, 3 to 6 lob. All the top teams had quality pitchers, sneaky fast. All of them. All them guys, Nesto and Chris Howard and Tack Senior and Randy from Brownsville. Them guys are sneaky smart, man. You go up there thinking you're gonna get a walk. Yeah, you're gonna walk all right. Walk back to the dugout.
Yeah, with your bat on your shoulder.
You got to be ready to hit that in that little park. Come on now, you couldn't hit in that park. If you couldn't hit in Kingston, you don't need to be out there.
But it's funny. We look at it small, but in our eyes on that field, it was huge to some people. Like getting to that right field fence wasn't easy. You know what I mean? Like it was a huge open field.
Right.
Like we come up to the plate, we're like, oh man, we can put that thing out that park. We can put it out anytime we want. And then you like, again, you got a Speedy you going up against, a Nesto or Willie Soto, and they ain't just giving it to you. You got to go get it.
You got to be, and you can't let the pitch that's there for you to handle get away. You gotta. So, like a lot of times when I was in Kingston, I get to a 3-1 count, and I peek at Chris. Chris tell me, you got green light offense. Now, unless the guy was intentionally walking me, I was ready to hit that 3-1 pitch. I wasn't going to let that 3-1 pitch come right down the plate for a full. I got a full. If that 3-1 pitch was middle to outside part of the plate, I was just going to ride it out the park. But Chris would always tell me, go. You got the green light. You just go. Green light offense. Uh-huh. But you know what's the funny thing there? I'm just going to go to Kingston Park a little bit.
Good.
What impressed me the most when I joined Mo Better, I think I joined Mo Better the second year, the first unit. Mm-hmm. The thing that impressed me most when I joined that team, of all the players that was on that team, when I got there playing, the two guys that impressed me the most that I didn't realize was how good it was Delroy and Manamoto. Because I never heard nothing about Delroy, and I never heard nothing about Manamoto. And Mo Better had good ball players, the Speedies, all of them, but the consistency from Delroy at second base and the way Manamoto played center, and he hit and he ran. I was so impressed with those two because I didn't know nothing about them when I got over there the first year. I was over there. Little Tap wasn't on the team. Mark Archer was there. Archer was a good ball player. Tap Senior was there. I don't even know if Speedy was there. Chris. I don't know if Chris Howard was there. But we had a Lenny Benjamin was still there. But what impressed me the first year was how good Delroy was for a guy I never knew. I didn't know nothing about Delroy. I heard that he was playing in the Transit League. But I'm telling you, Delroy was no joke in that park. I mean, he was close to almost automatic. He had that inside-out swing for that park. I never seen Delroy play in no other park, but for Kingston Park, he had a perfect inside-out swing. It was almost automatic. He didn't swing at a lot of garbage. You didn't get Delroy with a lot. Delroy was a very good ball player. And Manamoto, I don't know how he didn't break his neck a couple of times the way he played that fence in right center and hit that pole, and especially with the speed and the agility that he had. There was a lot of good ball players out there.
Yeah, definitely.
But for him to be as slinky as he was and fast and not running to that pole on a regular, running full speed toward that guy. And I used to always turn my head like, damn, did he hit it? And no, he didn't hit it. But those two guys really impressed me the most when I got over there because I didn't know nothing about Delroy and I didn't know nothing about Manamoto. I guess I don't know where they played. They said Delroy played fast pitch.
I
I
think he
don't
played
know.
military. I think he played military too. I think he played military.
With Delroy?
Yeah, I think so. Don't quote me, but I think he played military. I think he played. I know he played with Tees Devils. That's
Okay.
it. Tees Devils. I think that's where him and D-Mac started. I think over there with
Okay.
T. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's what I think. They all grew up. I think they all grew up in that same neighborhood over there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
It
yeah,
was
D-Mac definitely different, man. D-Mac, let me tell you, center field wise, I love watching him play. Even playing against him. You know, um, I want to say I didn't really see him play that much with Mo Better, but I saw him play with the Black Sox
okay.
a lot. So I think that's where I saw him the most with the Black Sox.
Mhm.
And if he did, I know he did play with Mo Better, but I don't know if it was the second unit I think he played,
Mhm.
but I know definitely with the Black Sox. And
It was so much. To me, it was so much talent down there in those two leagues. It's just that I think I think everybody in those two leagues in the eras that was down there, I thought that they owe it to themselves to go to a higher level of softball. I think those. I mean, I know it was community league. Everything was a hop and a skip from your house and job and work like that. But I felt like they owe it all them guys that were really good ball players down there. They owe, like I'll give you a good example. Like a guy like Dwight. I would have loved to see Dwight, who's a baseball player in college and went to the minor leagues. I would have loved to see him at the highest level of softball he could have played. Here's a guy who can run. I mean, and could hit. I would have loved to see Dwight at the highest level. You know,
he said for me and him, we've had a lot of conversations, and he said I think he played in a couple tournaments, maybe. Don't quote me, because I asked him that question.
right.
I asked him that question, about playing competitive on that. I would love to see him play, with you guys or Fatty or something like that. And maybe that could have been because of the job or, whatever. But, I know he did a lot of fast pitch. I know that, but I can imagine him hitting a ball gully.
I mean, he was
Wow.
in good shape when he came out of college. When he went to the minors. I'm not sure. I think I heard why he went to. I think he went to the Indians
Yes.
farm
Yes.
system.
Yes.
But when he came into St. John's, I mean, think about it. This guy is playing major league, minor league softball. He comes out to St. John's, and that fence is only 270.
Right.
The
So
bases are only 60, maybe 55.
It's a pop.
And you run it on concrete. You run it on cement. So they said Dwight used to lean, but it was a lot of guys that were fast on concrete. Ali was very fast.
I heard he was. Yes.
Ali was very, fast on concrete. A guy like Dwight. Tap was fast. Fatty was fast, but he, again, never touched no bases. Like you show up and you just keep you like Forrest Gump,
Desmo used to do that too. I remember Desmo would run around the bases and miss first or miss second. Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah, man. But I don't know. That's how I felt. I felt like because those guys back home in Kingston, Senior, they were putting in a lot of time playing softball in some of them weak leagues down there. So I'm like, don't you want to see what's at the top of the step? I mean, you're not going to go against the men from Steel from Ohio. You're not at that level. But don't you want to see what's to make yourself? Because I believe a lot of them guys out there could have been better, Al. Like my manager came out there one time. My manager said, Tony, you got a gold pit down here. He said, you got a gold pit down here. I said, yeah, but I just can't get them to stop 1 year and just play tournament and league ball out there. And I just can't get them to do it. They're only going to walk away when the league is shut down. Memorial Day weekend, July 4th weekend, and Labor Day weekend. When the leagues are shut down, then everybody want to go out of town. Everybody want to, they down. Everybody want to go.
I can go. I can go. I can make it.
Yeah.
But I think you could have did it, Tone. I'll be honest with you. I think you could have put a team of competitive team that can play in Long Island consistently. If you, and I know you did it with Excalibur, so I know you could have really done it and stayed with them.
But see, to do it, you got to be like what Dookie and them did, College Point.
Yeah.
They were running Queens. Dookie, Jimmy Ty, Matty McKenna, all of them. You know, they were winning in Croshawn, Alley Pond, and Cunningham. But then they would take their best team, because they had two teams. They had College Point and they had College Point Heat. So they would take their best team and maybe add two good ball players to go away to play. And they won a nationals. The college Dookie, your boys Dookie and Jimmy Ty and all of them, they won a national in Alabama with Dagger.
They were good, man. And that's after us, though. Wasn't that after us? Because they had a hard time playing us in 202.
No, that was before, but they all went. They went down to Alabama. They won the nationals, and when they won that, they got sent to Oklahoma City. That's the highest level of softball you can play. When you go down to Alabama, you beat them teams down there. Here, you still playing clincher ball.
Mm-hmm.
Back home over here in Cunningham and Alley Pond. And then you win that nationals down in Alabama. And then you get basically almost expense paid free to go to Oklahoma City to play the big dog from out west. Y'all meeting up in Oklahoma City. Everybody watching you. You know, those are the games you want to be in.
You damn right. I want.
You know, those are the games you want to be in. You got guys walking around there, oh, they did this and that, and Skillman Parker. No, that's softball, especially for guys that are into it. All us, we were all into it back then in Kingston and Brooklyn. We were into it. You know, some guys got divorced. They lost their girlfriends. They lost their jobs. They gambled and lost money. Yeah. You know, think about all the money that was betted down there against each other.
It's crazy. Just thinking about that money that was out there.
Yeah, because
but you got to realize that too, Tone. Winning where you're from, it's like winning in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Think about it like this, and I'll say, yeah, I can win in a tournament. That's great. But the win where I live on a regular basis, people see me walking through these streets, they know me. That's a different ball game, because those are the people you really impress with more than anything, besides the people out there in Long Island who see you once in a while. But the people you see here, I'm just saying that's just my perspective. Mm-hmm. I love the win in Kingston, love the win in St. John's. Tournaments was a bonus because I learned the game differently traveling to bring that back into Kingston and St. John's. But to win on Kingston Park Field, I got something to talk about for a whole year.
Listen, I remember when we was with the Renegades, when I had the Renegades team, we had won the championship 2 years in a row. Then the Outlaws took over. Outlaws won 4-5, whatever. So I remember one Sunday, I had a tournament, I had a nationals in Battle Creek, Michigan. I was saying, oh man, I hope my team back home don't get swept. So when we finished in Battle Creek, we came in fifth. It was like 35 teams. We came in fifth. It was good. It was competition. You know, it was off the wall down there.
Right.
So I get back to the hotel. I'm flying out. I'm like, what happened back home in Brooklyn? They said we split with the Outlaws. I'm like, good. It was the Renegades. I'm like, good. I didn't want to get swept. You know, I'm not there. like at the end of the year, you feel like your team played all year. You got to be there for the championship at St. John's. But I'm also going to the Nationals in Battle Creek, Michigan. So I had to weigh it. But I was like, I got to go to Michigan. I got to go to Michigan. I got to go to. So we split.
Right.
Come back next week. Now, my team in Long Island was a weekend tournament. We still playing the Outlaws Sunday. I got a championship game Sunday night in Long Island against a really good team called Sudden Death out there. Black team, African American team.
Right, yeah.
I come to St. John's, Outlaws beat us. Little Larry got lucky, hit the ball over Clem head and right said he lucky. Little Larry, lucky. But they had a good team. Outlaws had a good team. I don't take none of them, but they were better.
They were stacked. They had
a good team. They had a good team. But we held them 2 years in a row. But so the game is over. Guys in the Renegades upset. Outlaws partying, drinking, doing all this shit. So I'm getting my bag to go to Long Island. So my friend Buster, who lives in Charlotte, he goes, "Where you going?" I said, "I got a championship in Long Island." He goes, "You playing a championship right now? You just lost?" I'm like, "That's over with." So I go out to Long Island. My September team, we playing this top good team was Claude. I believe Claude was on that team. Those boys from Hempstead, Dirty Dozen, legit African-American team. Russell, know who's on that team? Your boy Russell.
Big Russ?
Big Russ was on that team.
Oh, man.
In his prime, Big Russ could hit it. In his prime could hit it. So we down there. We at Bethpage Park. Park is lit up. I mean, I thought we was playing at Shea Stadium. It was lit up. Winner take all, one game tournament. They stacked. It was 45 teams in that tournament, down to the final two. My team and Russ's team. So my manager goes, "You know them?" Because it was 85% black. I said, "Yeah, I know them. They can hit." I said, "But the moment a call is made against them, they are going to start the race card. And then when they start that race card, we got to pound them." Sure enough, Al, fourth inning, 13-12, fourth inning, bang, bang, play on first. Empire calls it in our favor. Man, what did he do that for? They went off on him. They cussed him out. They cussed that Empire out so bad. So we regroup. So we go, no, we're not going to let them believe that if they lose this game, that the Empire took it away from them. It was a bang bang call. It could have went either way. It could have went either way. But my guys were like, no, they ain't gonna have this as no excuse. We're gonna let's go. Back then, you could score as many runs you want to score in the inning. It was no 5-run cap. We put up 23 in the next 2 innings. They still fussing with the Empire.
Man, that's way over.
We pound them. Championship game, you no run rule in the championship game. You down 30, you guys got to handle it. So now they raised, listen, and I felt bad for this because African-American team. They raised so much hell in that championship series that the director and the commissioner had to come out. And what he did was he banned them from playing in any ASA tournaments the following year.
That bad?
I feel so sorry because I was trying to calm them down and they would not let go. They would not let go. They got to the championship.
That's what Red said. He said they
would not let it go. And so now they're going into next year, they can't play no tournaments with ASA. You know, they couldn't go down to Virginia. They couldn't go to Maryland. They couldn't go nowhere because of a bang bang call that could have went either way. You can't let stuff like that tell you, okay, I always tell people Empire might be bad for both teams. You know, might be bad for both teams. So you got to be better. You just have to be better, you know. And I feel sorry for them because they kept going, well, we want to go here. They couldn't go because of what happened in September in that last championship game at Bethpage Park. It messed them up for the next year. They had a good team. They had a really good hitting team, but some people just don't know how to let that thing go, man. You got to let it go, Al.
That's
You have to let it go.
Can't take it too personal out there, especially on a play like that. You still got to play the game. The game still got to be played,
you got to be able to control your emotions while you're playing, If Al gets up, bottom of the seventh, 2-on, and you make it out, I ain't going to stick my knife in you. I need you tomorrow.
No, but I can feel that heat when I'm walking back to that. I can feel the heat.
But you know what? But you're going to feel the heat from yourself more because that's a situation that you're going to come through most of the time. All right. You got to be able to rebound and say, you know what? Okay, I didn't get it done, but I can't wait for the next game. I can't wait for my next at bat. You just can't hold on to it. You got to, because now, just say it was early in the game, you got to go play defense now.
That's right.
You can't take it back out to left center. You worrying about the last at bat. You gotta be flexible, as far as when you're playing in all sports, not just softball, in all sports.
No, I agree.
In all sports.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's interesting. You put it out there like that. So what's next?
You should be playing out in Texas.
I do.
The senior, because they say senior, that don't mean it's 60 and over. Y'all got ball out there 40, 50. How old are you, Al?
I just turned 50.
Yeah, they got 50 and over leagues down there. Major plus, AAA. That they go all around the state of Texas. But you gotta know someone out here to be a part of those teams. If somebody knows somebody, Al, we looking for a player, something like that, and they'll bring me, like a couple of guys have asked me, that's how I'm playing this weekend. Al, we want you to play. All right, I'm available. I'll play. That's normally how it works out here. And eventually it will happen. I'm also at a point to where out here they tell you gotta go try out. I'm not trying out for nobody. Well, there's a website where you can go on and you, like teams down there, especially in Texas, they're looking for players. They're going to ask you what position you want, what position can you play. Don't go down there and tell them out you can play all of them because you can't.
I'm catching. I didn't say that. No way.
Don't go down there and tell them you can play every position because a lot of guys do that. What position can you play? All of them.
Nah, I'm so sorry.
He 295. I can play all of them. No, you can't.
I can pitch and play second, catch, and if you need me in the outfield, I'll do that every once in a while. But other than that,
and even people that's listening to us, people that are listening to us now, that play in the tri-state area around here. If you're 60 years old or you're going to turn 60 this year, give me a call. If you used to be a good ball player and you stay in shape, I don't care because in our league we have an African American, the Bees. They play in the 4th division. Those are most of the guys that you know. Peter King, JB, Larry Jr. went over there this year. They did well this year. They won the 4th division. Now they got to get moved up to the 3rd division.
Rich said he's 63.
60. Yeah, Rich is out there with them.
Rich, you ready, Rich?
I'm trying to think of some of the other guys. I'm trying to think of the guys you know.
Well, I know Larry plays on that team. I think Junior plays on that team. I don't know if Magic is playing on that team.
Magic is on the team. He was on the roster. He played this year.
I know.
Drake,
because we played against some of the guys this year. Lump. I don't know if Lump plays.
Lump is on another team. He's on a team called the Kings.
Okay. So I do know that we play. We played against. It was fun playing against. I love playing against my guys, the OGs. I just love it. It's so much fun to see the guys still out there playing. Just laughing and joking. Speedy pitched and I think I took a swing on Speedy. He said, "You try to hit me through the ceiling." I said, "Speedy, I try to hit you in the next parking lot. I don't care." But it's just fun to play against my guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad Peter can help put that team together. JB, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Shout out to Brooklyn for putting that Brooklyn
like
team
the bees in the 4th division. They played very well this year. They hit the ball. They won
the championship this year.
They won the regular season championship in the 4th division. Yeah.
Okay.
And then they went to the end of the season tournament in their division, and they won that. I mean, they blew out a couple of teams. They played very well this year. I got to give them credit because the teams in the league used to always look at the Bees before Dave Goldstein passed away. He used to run the team with a guy named Dickey, I believe. And
I gotta remember. I think wasn't you playing with the Bees first?
No.
Well, Rich Murray, and I think you remember I'm trying to think. I know we went out to the field one time, and I think Rich came out. I think we took some swings or something. I don't know if you was with him or just naming the team, but I thought that you was out there.
No, I never saw. I always saw the Vikings, but Jake was with the Bees. They had an outfielder named Danny.
Yes, Jake, Danny. Yeah, left field Danny. Yeah.
Bell. Bell was elected in the Hall of Fame last year. Lump was with the Bees also. Magic is with them this year. Peterkin. Somebody else.
Jamal said he's 55, but with his Dominican birth certificate, he's 62.
Tell Jamal he ain't gonna be able to get away with it out there. They're strict on that. They strict on 62.
He said his Dominican birth certificate. That ain't no birth certificate. That's loose leaf paper.
It's loose leaf paper. But them guys, I went out there and watched them a couple of times this year. They played well. The Peterkin, Drake, Larry Jr., Richard. They played good. I think both Bradshaws on the team. JB
and Jeff.
Right. They're both on. They play good, man. Jerry's still Jerry. Jerry still runs that shit down, man. Jerry's still Jerry, man. He's still Jerry. He's one of the most consistent outfielders out there at his age. But Jerry's still playing a lot of ball.
He is, yeah.
Jerry plays a lot of ball. And what makes Jerry and a guy like Dougie really special, they play all kind of pitch. They play fast pitch. Yes. They play arc. They play
modified, whatever, slingshot. Yes.
Yeah. And they're consistent. You're not going to see them have a lot of bad games. They're going to. I have to give them guys credit, man, for that.
Yeah. That's good that they still play. I love to see that. I love to hear and see that they still play. So that's the fun part about it. That's
next time you come up here next year, you come out there, you're going to see a lot of people that you're going to look at them and say, "Wow, that guy's 65 years old. He could have been 35 years ago. He was a good ball player, probably." Nobody has the arm no more. Nobody can. You got to hit 2 cutoffs now and the ball come in.
He said 2 cutoffs.
Nobody has the strong arm no more. Nobody.
Yeah.
But you know what? Every team is the same. So but it's good to see them guys out there, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely.
It's good to see them.
Tony, anything else you want to catch up on? I think we touched a lot of things. I told you I was going to take you around the world a little bit.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I just wanted to have a shout out to some of the guys I play with, some of the guys the guys in the Bees, and guys that still want to play ball now. You got to let me know if you turn 60.
No, don't just say turn 60. Clarify. You got to put some stipulations in there, Tony. They're gonna try to just.
You gotta turn 60. Yeah, I forgot. I'm talking to the brothers from Brooklyn. Oh, I forgot about that.
You gotta put some stipulations in there now. Yeah. Everybody gonna want to come out because they might not be what you want. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, if you turn 60 this year, this calendar year, 2025, even if you're 59 right now, no, I'm sorry. I take that back. This is the end of the year. I keep
Don't get
thinking this is
fined.
me.
Don't get fined.
Yeah,
Don't get
this is
fined,
yeah.
Tony. Don't
I
get
take
fined.
that back. I take that back. I'm sorry. If you turn 60 next year, if you turn 60 next year, you can play in the league. If you still want to play, if you still in your mind, you still think you can still do a little of this, a little of that, come on out. I think it was 19 or 18 teams.
Is there a website that
Yes.
people can get to?
Lisa, yeah, Lisa, Lisa, Long Island Senior Softball Association. Long Island Senior Softball Association. So the LISSA. And you go on there, and so you'll see they put up the scores, they put up the standings. I mean, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Tuesday, every Thursday, the games start at 10. All the teams show up at 9:15, and they take batting practice religiously. The games are normally over by 12:30, and by 3 o'clock, all the games are posted with the standings on the website. I mean, it's straight up. It's good, and they do a good job out there.
I definitely gotta next time I come out there, Tone, let's do an A60 game out there, man. I want to bring my guys out there to play with the Deli against one of your teams. Let's see if we can make that happen this year.
Your guys can't hang out. I might be young enough. Your guys ain't gonna be hang out. They're gonna want to catch a flight the next day. They're gonna be mad at you. They're gonna say, "You bring us out here, you let these old men beat us up like this."
First of all, I ain't let nothing happen. That's one. They'll do it to themselves. But I'm coming competitive this year.
Okay.
This year I'm coming competitive.
Okay.
This year I'm coming competitive. So, and I'm bringing a girls team. So,
okay, that's good.
Yeah, I'm bringing a girl because Regina, BB, Renee put that challenge out there. Like, why you don't bring a girls team? I am bringing a girls team this year. So, I got time to get in shape. I don't want to hear nothing. They're coming to play. Co-ed game, they're coming to play. I got the girls already lined up. They can't wait to come and vacation in New York and win a couple of softball games from what they told me. So I just want y'all to understand. And they're going to be the right age. They're going to be the right age. They ain't going to be 23, 30. It'll be between that 40 and 50 age. So that's the best I can do.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a sight to see.
It's bringing my guys to New York.
Mm-hmm.
And what made me want to do it was when the team from North Carolina used to always come up.
Okay.
And I saw how everybody treated the team from North Carolina. Like, yo, come on, we're going to take you out here. We're going to go here. And my goal the whole time was like, I can't wait to bring a team from Texas.
Okay.
So that's why I do it. I do it for that excitement. Guys to get to see like where I'm from and how we played out this game, to hear the stories. Like I tell the guys, you're looking at guys that are legends, through my eyes because I've seen it, and I'm just telling you, like some of these guys, don't look at what you see right now. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. I'm just telling you what I went up against, so it's a joy.
So let me ask you a question. When the first time you brought the guys to New York, what did they think about the clincher?
What the hell is this? What are you playing with? Why are you playing with this soft ass ball? You know what I mean? Like, who can hit with this? And I said, well, I think the first year I brought them, we always played in St. John's because I'm not playing on Kingston until they get turf. So I'm not doing concrete. That last game killed me for 9 innings. And I still don't know why you put me in center field, but we will talk about that later. Because Jacob didn't want to play center. That's what it was. Jacob didn't want to play center. but they couldn't believe that we played with that ball. Like when we say softball, they think clincher out here. You know, they think Dudley. I'm sorry, they think Dudley.
Right.
We call it softball because that's actually what we played with was a softball.
Right.
So when I brought them up there, they couldn't believe it. They say, Al, they hit home runs with this pitch. I'm like, oh yeah.
Right.
You see that fifth tree? You see this? Like I've seen guys hit it all out. They said there's no way with this ball. Yes, I'm telling you.
It was flying out of there. You could hit it.
Yeah,
I guess a lot of them, when you go out of town, they just look at the ball and goes, "What?" You know, they don't, and then they don't understand that we played on asphalt. That's the next thing. First is the ball, and then you tell them you played on concrete, and they be like, "What do you mean? The stuff that we drive on? Yeah,
yes,
the stuff that we drive on."
we tell you play on concrete, and that's what I tell them about St. John's because they see the turf, and I'm like, no. That was the worst field to play on. That was concrete.
Right.
I'm talking about the ball, line drive, hit that one of them pipe cracks and go up in the air. And I said we played with 3 outfielders. It wasn't 4. It was 3.
Yeah.
And even when I tell some of the guys that I played center, you know, they didn't believe that I played the outfield, you know. So I always make sure before I come home, I'm in good enough shape to play the outfield.
Right.
You know, I always make sure I'm gonna run something down. Like I'm going, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna show you I can play out here. So it's fun. But Tony, you got questions for me? I know you asked me that one question. Do you have any specific questions?
No, it was just really like you played here and you out there playing with them. I mean, how was the competition out there?
It's really competitive.
Is it a rec league you play in? Is it like a recreation league or?
Well, I do play in a rec league, but rec league here they have like single A, they have double A. One of the teams that I played on, very competitive. I mean, they hate losing. Very competitive. And then there's some that have single A, not so good, but good. You know. And what I mean by that is they'll have 2 or 3 players that can really bang the ball, and then the rest of the team, they just out there, you know. And then you have some teams that are strictly beer league, you know, like they just come to play. The tournament that I'm playing in this weekend, a lot of competitive teams, E and D. Okay. I'm considered a D player now because I played on a D team. And to me, all the teams are the same. The only difference is different bats that they use, in my opinion. But they play with a rover. Some of the good teams play with a rover, play with the 3 outfielders. And there's some teams that play with all 4. But some of the teams are very competitive. I'm not going to sit here and say, like, there's some teams I've seen, a team called the Aces that are really good. There's a team that's playing in a tournament this weekend called Bazooka. I think they're cheating. They should not be in the E division when they're a really good D team.
When they play E, are they giving them home runs or no home runs?
You get 1 home run. You get 1. You get 1. Yeah. D, I think you get 2, maybe 2 or 3. Don't quote me, but I think it's 2 or 3. But I know E, you definitely get 1. Now, if a D team plays an E team, you automatically give the E team 3 runs.
Okay.
Give them 3 runs. So it's very competitive, Tone. Some of the teams out here is very good. When I mean by the bats, I mean shaved.
That's dangerous. That's very dangerous.
They have composite bats, but they're loaded composite bats. Like you know, like they're crazy, Gary. You know, crime. They're crazy. I'm telling you. I've seen dudes. I know for a fact you shouldn't be hitting the ball like that, but because of that bat, that's why you hitting it like that. You know what I mean? And that makes you, you know, you pitch, Tone, as a pitcher, you intimidated because you know once it come off that bat, it's coming off. You know, there's nothing you can do.
Down in Florida now, what they're starting to do in the leagues down in the village leagues, they're making the pitcher use a net, and if you hit the net, you're out. Protect the pitcher from the middle shots, you know, from the middle shots. So they got a net, and he pitches, and if you hit the net, you out.
And I think out here, their senior leagues, not tournaments, Well, I did see that in the tournament too. They play with a fence. They do.
Right.
The pitcher.
Right.
Yeah. Now I don't know if it's out, but I do. I have seen the fence out here. So
They want people to
legal.
stay away from the middle because these not like you get these games that start at 8 o'clock at night. You can't see the ball come back up through the. I mean, not only the pitcher going to get hurt, the infielder's getting hurt.
Infield are going to get hurt. Are they legal crime? If you can get away with it,
Yeah.
if you can get away with it, and I know for a fact that some of them test it every once in a while, but there's some umpires that are lazy and they won't test until somebody gets pulverized. You know what I'm saying?
What they started doing about 15, maybe 20 years ago, some tournaments, not a lot. The reason why they don't go because they know that softball players around the country are buying new bats every year. They buy brand new bats. Yeah. But a lot of tournaments want to go to the supply bat where you go there, they got one bat, whether it's from Mikan, Easton, or Suncoast. You got a 26, 27, 28. Yep. A lot of them don't even have 28s or more. The tournament is supplying the bat. You can't use your bat. So you know the tournament director, the bat ain't shaved. So they figure that could
be this bat. I like that. Right. I like that idea better. I really do.
They're supplying the bat, so nobody won't get hurt. The infielders, because I mean it's dangerous.
But also out here, Tone, it's a lot. The game is a lot younger. Mm-hmm. It's not. You don't see too many older guys playing with the young guys. Let me say that. It's right. You got guys that's 20, 19, 20, late 30s, early 30s. Right. That's what the tournaments are out here. You'll see a whole team. I mean, me playing on 50 playing on one of them team. Like I told you, they call me OG and Unc. So I know I'm at that point the way I'm like. And then they don't believe that. And some guys, they know me, but they were like, "There's no way you're 50 and you hit the ball like you hit the ball." And I'm like, "Do you know how long I've been playing this game? Like, this is still a simple game at the end of the day. Right. Run, hit, catch. So."
All right, we good. We touch bases on everything. Good. So you gotta let me know next time you come.
Yeah.
Again, everybody listening, all you people that want to play 60 and over next year.
Legitimately.
I mean, you want to play. If you still think you got it going on, guys, come play. I got some room for you.
See, they need to hear that, Tone, because I think some guys are just intimidated to still go play because they don't want to look bad, as you say.
Come out and have some fun. Come out and have some fun. That's it. Come out, have some fun. We always talk about the old days, what we can and what you can do. Have fun. I'll bring the beer. I'll bring the beer and some pretzels.
Sit back and look, huh? Just have a good time.
Have fun, man. Yeah, that's all we can do. Just enjoy life now, man. You know how many people that wish they still can play the game and can't play because of illness and sicknesses and stuff like that.
That's right.
That's why I enjoy being with my guys because we all still can play. I go watch the Bees. I'll go watch all softball because guys are still playing at the age. Listen, guys are still playing at the age of 70 and 80, and these are presidents and CEOs of companies.
Yeah,
companies. Money don't mean nothing to them.
No, you're right.
I played in a tournament with the great-great-grandson of Ford. The Ford Motors. His great-great-grandson was playing. He couldn't play, but he didn't care. He wanted to be around guys that could play, But just let me know, guys. Give me a call, Al.
Tony, we're going to have to get this settled right now because this dude played on your team. I'm getting tired of him saying this.
Hold on 1 second, Al. I want to hear this. Hold on.
We're going to wait. We're going to wait. We're going to wait because we're going to get this answer. We're going to get this answer. The Giants is winning 27-17. I feel good, Man, I'm happy, Maybe I should start watching them in the house instead of going out. What you guys think about this Jason Dart kid? Jackson Dart. I'm sorry. You know, Reg, you know the answer.
Okay, shoot. Let me hear this.
All right. So me and Marv, he has this thing where he still thinks he's better outfielder than me. Okay.
Which Marvin? Derek Oliver brother?
There's only one Marvin. We only know one Marvin. We only know one crazy ass Marvin. And we played this year. He hit a line drive to me. He didn't hit it over my head because I jumped and caught it. Still can jump, still caught it. Make it look simple. Easy, But he still thinks he's the better outfielder. Now, Tone, you seen this man in his prime, and you saw me you had me at my prime. Was there any comparison between the two of us?
Now, why are you going to do this?
I'm going to do it to you because I can do it to you. I can do it to anybody else. Go ahead. Tell the truth. It's okay.
Y'all were different.
I know that.
Y'all were different. You were better. You was better than Marvin, but Marvin saved a lot of runs too now.
No, don't do that. Don't put the disclaimer on there. Do not put the disclaimer on there.
The difference, the big difference between you and Marvin was your offense was way better than Marvin's offense. Marvin was quick. He wasn't as fast as you, but Marvin could cover a lot of ground because Marvin could run to a spot and beat it when the ball landed. You just was pure fast. You were just fast. You was quicker. So you could make a mistake, but you could still run the ball down. Marvin couldn't make a mistake, but Marvin was smart. Marvin could run to the spot where the ball would go. I couldn't put Marvin and Derek together sometimes because Derek relied too much on Marvin. Every ball's hit the Derek in left. Yeah, we watching ball hit the left center and Marvin running his ass off and Derek ain't doing nothing. And the ball would land. I'm like,
he's sitting there watching.
I said, oh, I see what's going on. Derek relies so much on Marvin because Marvin was a good outfielder. Yeah, I got to separate them two. Because Derek believes so much in his brother when Marvin was killing himself out there in the outfield.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of games with Marvin, and I'll tell you, I watched Marv play center with the Bucks. I've seen him play with multiple teams before he moved away. But again, I take a testament to I wouldn't be the player I am if I didn't sit in those dugouts and have conversations with him and a Glenn Oliver and a Derek Oliver, and so it was a maze to watch him play, to do the thing. Like you said, he was a good route runner to the ball.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you said, the difference was he was a route runner. I went to the spot. I can beat it up with my speed. He was good route runner. So I took note to every great center fielder, the Miltons, the D-Max, the Whites. I didn't get a chance to see the White play like that, but I just heard. But again, to see certain center fielders, I took a little piece of their game and added it into mine to where it could help my game all the way around. So nothing but love for Marv. That's my uncle. I love that.
That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, as any kind of player playing any kind of position, you're supposed to watch the people that are slightly better than you and pick up little pieces what they're doing and master whatever you do good. You got to master it. You didn't have you take a guy like little Larry. Larry wasn't a power hitter. But his job was to get on base for Junior and Creed and Black and Fall, all them guys. His job, his on base percentage was high because it didn't matter how he got on base. He'd do that crazy swing down, chop it, and run through. But every time you turn around, Larry and Reggie and them guys was always on base for the big boys.
I did not know how Larry would chop that thing like he did and get the first. I didn't know how he did it.
Yeah, and you get a guy like Larry and like not Larry, Reggie, Bingo, Reggie and Bingo. When I used to play short center against them, it was like a chess game because I would move over toward the shortstop and I see Reggie and Bingo shifting their feet because now they want to go to the side to my glove side, but they were going towards second base. So they take a picture. I walk back over there to make Larry and Reggie and Bingo, but they were so good at controlling their back control. It wasn't no power. It wasn't about power with them. They were very good at hitting the gaps, and and that stuff matters when you winning championships. You can't have 1 to 5. You got to have all the way through. Those guys that hitting 7th, 8th, and 9th, it matters a lot. It matters a lot because if 5, 6, 7, and 8 ain't hitting, I can pitch around 4. Go after 5 and 6. But if you got a complete hitting lineup like those teams, the championship teams back then, the Impalans, the Outlaws, Reginas, USA, really, you got hitting all the way through the lineup. Different kind of hitting. Everybody ain't gonna hit a ball as far as Forcer or Dennis. But you got a guy like Ali is going to hit the gaps. He might hit it out. Every team had good hitters. That's why, I listen to a lot of people talk about all those top teams back in the days. Even the Kingston Park League,
right?
Evolution, Another Level. They all did it different. The Mo Betters. I got another question, and maybe the people that's listening can answer this question.
Yeah, because they're putting some stuff in here about they were just talking about Marv. He was a smoother outfielder. I agree. He was very smooth.
He was good. It was Marvin.
Listen, that's my uncle, so I ain't gonna never do that. And Crime, you're 100% right, Crime. I agree with you. But again, I had to do my homework. You got to study the people you playing with or playing against, especially if you consider them good. And that's something that I did. I studied the Marvs, the Derek Olivers, like I said, the Miltons, not taking nothing away, the D-Mac. I studied. I didn't get a chance to see Bingo. I saw Ali play left. I see
Ali was a good center fielder.
Yeah, but by the time I saw him, he was playing left.
Yeah.
He was went to the tournaments with him. Mm-hmm. He's in left. Just like they said, Horse, good outfielder.
Richard was very good. Yeah, that's my boy.
He was in right field.
Yeah. Richard was my boy.
Yeah, so it's just like I said, take nothing away from where it started because I wouldn't be here, and a lot of the people that's playing, even though they might not want to give credit to a lot of the older guys, they wouldn't have nowhere to play if it wasn't for guys like you and those other guys. They wouldn't. And they can say it however they want to say it and put it however they want to put it. It just would not be a reality. So I'm never going to forget where it started. I will never forget that because that's the history. That's what makes the history continue. That's eras. I don't know what happened in the 70s or the 80s or the late 90s is when I started playing to 2000. I can't tell you about what happened after 2005 when I moved away. I can't tell you about that because those guys came on and they did what they had to do. So it's a different
and like from what I've seen with all those top teams, even down in Kingston and St. John's, I didn't see too much of Brownsville. I was playing in St. John. I didn't see too much in Brownsville, but those players started coming up to John and stuff like that. But all them teams, I would have loved to see all the top championship teams playing like a round robin, like a tournament against each other, because they all were different. The Cubs, Another Level, Mo Better, Impalans, the Brothers. I would have liked to see how those teams played in different parks. I would have liked to see how good was Impalans out of Bessie Head. You told me to put them in the John. I would have loved to see how certain teams play in different parks. Not just like, okay, I'll give you a good example. Regina's, when they had Big Dennis and the Marvin, the Jenkins brothers, I thought that they was the top team in the John. I thought that if you was going to beat Regina's in St. John's, and the Outlaws contested this, you had to out-homer them in that park with Dennis and Ali and Marvin, the Jenkins brothers, and then they had Morris, who used to play with the Raiders, Big Mo. You had to out homer them in that park in St. John. Now, I don't know how good they would have been in any other park, but I know for dead pull hitting with the Derek Olivers and them in that park, nobody in that league could out hit them in that park, especially if the wind was blowing, except maybe USA. USA was equipped to hound Regina's because USA had guys that could hit the ball over the park. But yeah, I'm gonna take Regina's out of St. John's. All right, I'm gonna take them to and put them in another. I'm gonna put them in the open field. Are they the same team?
Yeah, that's something you got to think about because it's open space. So yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So even with the this is how I look at the game different than a lot of people do. The Mo Better teams. You had good teams down there in Kingston Park, but you take that Mo Better team out of Kingston Park and you go somewhere else. Now, we did win at Victory. We won in Woodhaven, but we lost the second year because we let the fight get to us. Instead of going out there and blowing out that team, we went out there to fight them, and we lost. So we should have won back-to-back years. Right. So we played, I think it was Mr. Breaks or a team called Metro. Big game 1, game 2. Big thing broke out, so we split. Instead of coming back the next week and taking care of business, we didn't. We went down there waiting for the first hard slide into second base, and then the fight was going to break out. And it didn't happen, and we lost. The second year Mo Better. But was the Mo Better teams, would they have been as dominant playing in Kingston, outside of Kingston Park? Yeah, Chris did a great job motivating. Chris was more of a better teacher than I was, because Chris had more patience. I some of that shit he was doing down there, I ain't had no patience for that, Al.
I bet you did.
Chris Agreed was a teacher, and he was the alpha of Mo Better. Even though he didn't play, he was running. Chris was every top team has an alpha. I don't care who you are. Every team has an alpha. Everybody on that team has that guy that shows up and said, "We got that guy on our team. We ain't supposed to lose to the other teams." Right. Chris Agreed was the alpha. Even though he was the player coach, Chris Agreed made a lot of them guys down there play better than what they were. He just had this way of pressing the right buttons on certain guys. Some guys were just good, but he was able to get a lot out of guys that were plain to me. But he was able to press buttons where, okay, I give you an example. Nobody played right field like Omar and Gordon.
Yeah, I heard them dudes were beasts.
Yeah, them two guys, they didn't have no offense, but because Mo Better was the way the team was constructed, we could sacrifice 1 or 2 at bats from a guy in the lineup because they saved so many runs. Nobody could play that corner like them 2 guys out there. And you had good ball players in the whole league, but when it came to Omar and Gordon in right field, there were times when Chris Agreed hit for Gordon.
And let him play the field.
He let him play the field. DH the right fielder, because in that park, he was good at. Now me, I'm different. I'm going to work with you on your offense. We'll come out. We're going to hit. I'll see what I'll fix it. Defense. Defense is defense. Yeah, again.
but remember, I asked you and Chris that question. You offensive minded, Chris defensive minded.
Right. And I can see it. I can see it when I first got to Mo Better. Every time we had to play a big game against the Outlaws or somebody, Chris wanted to play the teams that could hit well. Brooklyn, sometimes the Outlaws. Chris wanted to play down on Atlantic Avenue. I was like, why do you want to go down on Atlantic Avenue and play? He goes, well, this guy. I said, Chris, I used to tell Chris, them teams are not going to out-hit us in this park. But Chris had a lot of respect for those teams. He didn't sit back and just think that we was going to because Chris looked at defense first, offense second. I looked at offense first, defense first. I looked at Lenny Benjamin, and we had a big guy named Dwight.
I know he is big guy, lefty, right?
Lefty moved to California. We had hitting. Them teams going to hit in that park, but they wasn't going to last with us. You know, we ain't going to have too many innings where we score 1 run, 2 runs. We could hit in that park. That lineup was built for that park. But here's the question I had to ask you.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe some of the guys, what happened to the young guns? I mean, after we beat them in that game, I thought they're good enough to get to the championship. Who knocked them out? I don't know who knocked them out. The playoffs.
Well, I think I talked to Eddie about this, and a couple of people I've interviewed, the team just, blew up after those 2 losses.
What?
I gave them to them. They just blew up. I think Randy even not Randy. I interviewed somebody else. He talked about it because he was the coach, and they eventually just disbanded after those 2 losses.
After that double hitter.
Yeah, they disbanded, and that was, and from what the conversations I've heard from multiple people, the big head was there. They thought with what they had, they could have put y'all to sleep, and they didn't. When you got 7 lefties in the lineup, from what I heard, they had 7 lefties in the lineup.
They had a crazy team for that park. There's no way
they didn't finish the season. Reg, I heard they didn't finish the season. I think that's what happened.
They didn't go to the playoffs? They didn't get knocked out in the playoffs? They just dismantled?
I don't think they finished the season. Nope.
Somebody got to know what happens. Who was on? I'm trying to think. Watson was on that team, wasn't he? Wasn't Watson on Young Guns?
I think Watson was with Mo Better.
No, Watson wasn't with us.
Well, then, no, he probably was with Brooklyn.
No, Watson
wasn't
on the Young Guns.
I can ask him.
Who else was on that Young Guns? So long wasn't
Butch Nelson was on that team. Ernie Gillette was on that team. Salon was on that team. Ricardo was on that team. Oh yeah, Red said Watson was on that team.
Watson was on that team. You got to ask those guys.
Little Joe.
What happened? Because I'm like, I told Chris, I'm like, we're going to see them in the championship if they was on the other side. And then next thing you know, I don't know what happened to them. What happened?
Yeah.
I mean, you have one Black Sunday. So now you take a team like Young Guns, you get to the finals, and you get Mo Better again, and now you beat them. Who you think is going to feel worse? That regular season loss or that championship loss?
Yeah, but everybody's different, like I always tell you. But they were more prepared for that regular season championship than the playoffs. They were looking there opposed to looking in the playoffs.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I heard their team was stacked, bro. I heard their team
was a legit team.
I heard
they had a legit team. That team was put together to beat the Mo Better team. But it shouldn't have ended like that. If I'm running that team, that shit would have never happened. I would have been like, I'll see you in 3 months.
Right, we're going to get prepared. Yes.
We're going to get better. We're going to take everything out that we should have did last Sunday. We're going to take everything out on the next couple of teams. But I'm going to see you, Chris, in 2.5 months. But I'm shocked that they never got – because I always wondered what people talk about that game, that day.
That was a big game.
They don't talk about what happened.
I'll have to, but I can tell you this. I know for a fact that, they'll blame certain people who made mistakes. But again, from what I understood, they broke up. I heard that tension, who's playing over who's showing up to the games. But that one weekend, y'all blew their minds. They thought they could walk in there and do what they wanted to do. And
now who ran that team?
I think Eddie was the one who was running that team. Eddie.
Wow, that's been one of the mysteries I've always wondered what happened to the one year half a season. Like,
Yeah, they did something crazy with that team, and that's just what I heard.
that's crazy, man. I mean, where's your will to? I mean, the
Team spirit.
competition. So what you lose? So you should have won. You should have got out of there with a split, especially if you lost the first game. Get out of there with a split, and then get ready down the line. You know what you got to do. I don't, the mindset. I don't know. I wasn't built that way.
Nah. I had to get ready to see them again. Like you
Yeah,
said, I had
right.
to get ready to see them again. You got me this time. You wore me out, but you know what? We're gonna figure out how to get you back.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
right.
Because you still got to go through hell to get to the heaven. You still got to get through it. You're still a
Right.
good team. You just lost 2 games.
Right. That's it.
You
So
know, you
what?
just lost 2.
And I don't think they had lost them to that point at the time.
They said they stopped showing up and everything. Red said you got him a $200 bet.
I did.
You got him a $200 side bet. I said thank you for that.
Well, I want interest right now. 30 years later.
Reg, he said he collected.
Tell him 30 years later, interest.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this last question, and I know we've been on here a little bit long. How would you make when you was putting a team together? What did you look for first when you put the team together? Like, what was how you had to start?
When I was putting teams together, what I was looking for competitive ball players. I wanted guys that wasn't the biggest thing for me was the talent level, but I want players that are under control. I want a good ball player that's under control and not going to be intimidated by what's coming. Like what's going. What we going into these different leagues. I know what the league's about. I don't want to go into the league and go, well, that's the team we got to beat. That's the team we got to beat. I wanted the gel ball players that were good teammates with each other, going to root each other on, not be jealous of the next guy. So if a guy hit a ball and got on base and had a great day, you're not going to talk down to him. I wanted players to support everybody. But I wanted my guys to be mentally tough, that know the game, know how to play the game, going to play within the system that we got. It's not all about they're going to try to throw people out of the plate and just a merry-go-round. I want ball players that can play under control and be good teammates. If you're having a rough day, root for the next guy, because your day is coming. Believe me, your day is coming.
Right.
I don't want nobody to be jealous of Al because Al done hit 3 inside the park home runs, and the guy come back and he's always talking negative. I used to have.
I know what you had.
Some guys could handle it. Some guys, well, it wasn't a lot of guys. Some guys could handle it, and some guys couldn't. But you want to be on the same page because you're all playing for the same shit. You're playing for the same thing,
Yeah, you're playing for the same way.
You're not making no money unless you bet. And you go out of town, you don't really bet nobody unless you win up. Like we would go up to play Foster's team in Connecticut, and it was you talk about ghetto softball up there in Connecticut. Oh my goodness! Go up there, you bet the money, you win, you go back to their pub, and you drink. You couldn't even drive home because it was just like it was fun. But up there, they play and they gamble. They gamble. They talk shit out. Our Foster boys up in Connecticut talk a lot of shit.
What was it competitive?
Oh, we took a team up there one Saturday night to play Foster's team. He remember this. We go up there one Saturday night. Fat Larry used to run the Outlaws. So we go up there. We got Dennis. We got Fatty wasn't. We got Dennis. We got Ali, Heavy, Rich. We go up there, and this team gonna play us for all this money. I don't know what kind of park it was. Listen to this shit. You drive on a hill. It was a cemetery.
What?
It was a cemetery. You
What?
go to the edge. You go to the edge of the cemetery. You look down on the field. The softball field was down there. All right, from center field all the way around right field, and there was no right field line. So any balls went foul or any balls went over the fence, you couldn't go get the balls. The mosquitoes ate you up down there. They had a man that was come out there in the fifth inning with a space. He had a space suit on, and he's spraying the outfield because of the goddamn mosquitoes.
What in the world was y'all doing up there, man?
We went up there to play. We went up there to play Creek's boys for some money. Third inning, looking right field. What's coming out the woods on the field? A damn skunk.
What?
So we go up there. Foster's team is playing this team, and they beating this team out this money. Pow! Every time they hit a home run, they go around the bases, and the guys, they come out the dugout, and when the guy hit the home run and he step on home plate, they go, kaboom! I said, so I'm talking to Dennis and Richard and Heavy, and Ali, we all, I'm like, this is a circus, but we got to come to play because they think they just beating this team as their warm-up team. This is a warm-up game for them.
Oh, they just tested them, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So we playing next. The guy hit a home run for them, come around, everybody run out the dugout for his team, and the guy come, he get ready to step on home plate, they go, boom! The fans is there. I was like, okay,
they're going out of control.
Al, you would have loved it. You would have, I'm telling you, I think a guy like you would have rose to the occasion. So now we playing them. We bet them $3,500. So it's jackpot $7,000.
Uh-oh.
Creek. Boy, some crazy games we played in, boy. We go out there, and I'm telling you, Al, we put a beating on Creek's team.
Oh, my God.
Beating on them. Because one thing about the guys in Brooklyn, when they got to put up that money, whether it was Regina's, Outlaws, Renegades, USA, back in the days, back in the, you had numbers running, guys hustling the streets doing. So they go to play for their money. We put a beating on them. It was no kaboom on us. It was kaboom on them. And we go, then we leave the park. We go back to the pub with them. They got like ribs, potato salad. They got all this shit there. I mean, they did a good job. They set us up. They did a good. We took their money, but they had the money because they thought they was going to beat us, and But Foster played in some crazy parks up there in Connecticut. He was a nice guy, but he played in some.
I gotta get in contact with Foster. I gotta reach out to him. You got a number on Foster?
Nah, I don't know if he's still in Connecticut. You gotta ask. Oh damn, T.O.'s not here no more.
I know. Reg, see if you can help me out, Reg, and get Foster. Get in contact with Foster.
Yeah, maybe Reggie, Larry. Maybe
I can hit up Larry. Yeah, I can hit up Larry. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was so much fun because we went up there and they just thought they was going to take our money. They thought they were going to take out. We in the car load going up there. So Big Dennis, we in the car. So Dennis, Dennis in the back of the car. We got these intimate donuts in the back of the car. So we eating them. Dennis is everybody taking one donut at a time. Big D taking two. He swallowed. I don't know how he ate so many fucking donuts, man. So we had 3 boxes of donuts in the back seat of the car. So Dennis almost ate 2 boxes of donuts by himself. So the last box got 2 white donuts in there. So I said, Heavy, Dennis wanted them 2 donuts. Ate about 12 donuts. So Heavy said, leave him, just put it over there. So we looking around, Dennis, he swole up, man. Them donuts all up in his stomach. Mm-hmm. So he halfway back to New York. He go, ain't nobody gonna eat them donuts. We go, No, we're gonna save it and take it back to the little kids. He go, them kids don't need no donuts. They ain't gonna be no good by tomorrow. Dennis, go ahead. He must
And,
have ate about 14. He must have ate about 14 donuts on the ride home.
let me tell you,
And he just ate. He just finished eating the buffet and the spread that they gave us, for playing.
I
He
got a
could eat,
story
man.
with Big D.
Big D could eat, man. He could eat, boy.
I seen
God
D.
no.
I heard how good of a basketball player he was. And
Dennis,
yeah.
Ali, Junior.
But I didn't get a chance to play with Junior or Ali. But I got a chance to play with Big D. And it's when USA had a team. We played in St. John's. I want to say it's 30 and over, 35 and over, but we was allowed to be ringers. Me and Moby, Michael Marsh, cousin, we was able to be the ringers because we was the young ones. So Big D came onto the court. I said, "What you doing over here, man? Don't you play softball?" He said, "Take it easy, little Al. Let me show you a little something." But now he's coming to the field. He got 2 pieces of white bread with a pork chop sandwich.
Oh man!
Now,
Big D.
it's we only got 6 players. He's the 6th. He's running from the field with the bread. He's running. Bunch, give me my shirt, so he can play. So I'm like, "Yo, don't you go play softball?" He's like, "Just take it easy, little. I got you. You got to finish eating first before you get in the field. You can get in the court. You can't just do that." He sat on the bench, ate the sandwich, subbed in. Tony, when I tell you this man went to work,
wow,
and posting up everybody in the post, dudes didn't want to guard him, and I'm sitting there. Yo, I just seen you hit the ball 5 trees, and you coming over here with a sandwich in your hand, and you killing these young boys. You know what I mean? And
right.
That, I mean, like I said, I saw him towards the end of his career, and I hate to say towards the end of his career because I can imagine what he was doing in his 20s. You know what I mean? Yeah. But to see him on that basketball court, I was like, wow. Like, he's you know how big he's big. Mm-hmm. And I heard his brothers was bigger, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, those big boys, all the Jenkins boys, they were big men.
Oh my God, D! I said, I didn't know you played basketball after the end of the game. He said, "Son, I've been doing this for years." I said, "You coming back next week?" like he was that good. Dad was on the team with me, so that's what I'm saying. Like it was just,
it was the players back then. They could do more than just play softball. Like Bingo. Yeah. Bingo was a very good.
I heard that's what I heard. Yes.
Bingo was like back then. Bingo was like the Steph Curry. Bingo would come take a shot from half court, and I was like, when I played a basketball game against, because back then all the teams worked out in the gym, but sometimes we go to the other gym and play each other basketball. Outlaws, Renegades, we go to the gym, and Bingo and Hoop was a handful. They were little guys. Bingo and the Hoop, and then I think the brother was good too, Don. I mean,
they said Don is good too. Yeah,
good ball player. I heard so many good ball players back then.
Yeah, I mean, I heard. That's I'm glad I grew up in the era I grew up in, but I take nothing away from how I grew up in that era. Like I saw Outlaws that tail end. You know what I mean? Excalibur. Tail end, USA, tail end, so I got a chance to see a lot of those guys, but I can just imagine
in their prime
watching Red Hook, going out to Red Hook. I heard they was doing your thing out in Red Hook, like just imagining these games, to see how good these guys were in these parks, like Bessie Head. Like I didn't get the chance to see no games in Bessie Head in Bristol, and I didn't get a chance to see those games.
Right.
But I hear the stories.
Right. And it was nice, even if you wasn't playing softball in Bessie Head, they had so much activities going on around the park. People playing a game called Chuck-a-Luck, where you put the dice in the cup, you shake it, you turn it over, and if it land on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you win some money. People will have food out there. It was like a family. It was just like Kingston and St.
Yeah,
John's in
yeah,
the glory days. You know,
yeah, yeah,
you could
yeah.
bring
And
your
it's
family
still,
out there.
and salute to the people that's still doing it.
Yeah.
Like shout out to Maria and them who's still doing it.
Yes. Yeah. Let's bring
Like
food out
yeah,
there.
Kev, they cooking the water, they making the fish and everything.
Yeah.
It's still the same vibe. You know what I'm saying? If you go out there on a Saturday, Sunday, birthday parties, everybody showed up. I remember going to some of the Black Sox parties and stuff like that. So it's still the same, and that's, like I said, again, another one
And
of
that's
these.
good though.
Yes.
It's good that we as a community could do that, where we could get together and get away from the work from Monday to Friday, and
Yeah.
you be stressed out on your job, or you might have a little stress going on at home. You could come to the park and get away and mingle with your friends. You don't have to tell your friends all your business, but
No.
you just have a couple of hours to yourself, because everybody has something going on, whether it was at work, whether it was family, or whatever. And you could come to the park and just see a game and chill out and mingle with people on the sides. And some of the people you mingle with, they didn't play softball. They just was bystanders.
They were just fans.
They
They knew you. They knew your name. They knew your stats. They knew everything about you because they loved the game. Like you said, Tom, they just loved the game. And you can't be mad at that, because that's what that atmosphere brought to that park. You know what I'm saying? And to still see some of the people that I see now, family, that friends become family.
Right.
If you know what I'm saying. I apologize. I can't remember this lady's name, but she know me. And I when I was out there Sunday before I came back home, she saw me in the park, and she did the same thing she did to me when I was 14, 15. When I was 50, she did the same thing. First thing she did was grab my cheeks, and she started pinching me. And she said, "You still have your cheeks?" And then I said, "Yes, ma'am, I still have my cheeks." She said, "And you're still so respectful." You know what I mean? Like, just that she remembered me from playing. But again, a fan.
Right.
Not somebody who was invested in the game, just somebody who came to the park, watched the game, knew a bunch of people, and that's the amazing part about St. John's, Kingston, and what makes our park so unique. That's what makes our park unique.
Right.
We were family.
Because Larry and Junior played with us, or Reggie, you got to tell him to try to get Creek, because Creek would have.
No, he said he got a number on him. So
Creek went through a lot of stuff up in Connecticut. He went through a lot of stuff up there. I used to see him in tournaments, and he used to tell me, like, I want to get away from this, because they just, you know what I'm saying. It was,
I know. Yep.
But the manager, he liked Creek, because Foster. One thing about Foster, when he showed up, he played hard. He's the only guy I know played in damn near black boots. I don't know how the hell he played in boots at that level he was at. He played in black boots.
With baseball pants.
Black boots.
Yeah, with baseball pants.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if they was like high top baseball something, but he would always have them loose.
Arlene. Okay, he said Arlene. Okay, that's her name. Okay.
Oh, Arlene. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And but Foster could sit down and tell you a lot of stuff that he went through up in Connecticut.
I gotta get him, man. I gotta get him. There is a story. One night after Kingston, Seven and Jacob could contest to this story. Speedy too. We were drinking in the park after the game. It's dark on Kingston. Not Kingston. What is that? Herkimer. And we decided to race from one end to the other end. Me, I don't think Seven raced. I think it was me, Forster, and Jacob. And I think we raced, and Forster hit Jacob bumped Jacob under the car.
What? What? What?
Yeah, we were out in the street racing. Yeah, don't
Really?
exaggerate. That was
Was it a mistake, accident, or you think it was
no, it
intentional?
was an accident. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you know it. That's Creek.
I can't see them two. I couldn't see them two out racing you. I mean, beating you in speed.
That was not going to happen at that time. But I'm just saying, they were in the race. I'm just saying they were in the race. But I think Speedy raced that night. I think Speedy pulled his hamstring that night. Speedy would know that better than I. 7 was there. I can't remember who else was there, but I know it was me, Jacob, Creek, Speedy, and 7. I do know that. I do know Creek hit Jacob underneath a Hyundai or Toyota, but I know Jacob filled it up under one of the cars. But he was okay. But, you know, it was by accident. And, again, it was just one of those moments out there in that park that was so fun because, you know, Creek didn't hang out like that.
Right.
You know, once his game was over, he was leaving,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because he had a long drive ahead of him. Right. But we hung out in that park. Oh, Red said he was there too. Red said he was there.
Did they bet? Y'all bet money?
I don't listen. Somebody owe me something because I know I Reg, let me know. I need 10% too, Reg, if you want something. You know. But again, Tony, that speaks volumes to what we're talking about here and why we do what we do. It was fun.
Yeah. We love fun. Memories. The memories are so
can't take that away. Can't take that away.
Man. I mean,
you know, I wish, and I know I can't bring him back, but I wish I could be interviewing Heavy right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, can you? And I got so many stories with him, just those rides up to Newburgh, Queens. It's just so many stories. That man at his store, my guy. You know, in doing this platform and to have interview him. You know, that's why I'm so glad I got Rich. That's why I'm so glad I got Rich. That made my day. I got Rich. And then when I talked to Rich when I got back home, I said, Rich, the interview didn't go bad, did it? He said, no, you did pretty good. I said, I tried to tell you I wasn't gonna do that to you. And I knew once I got him talking, it was like the water faucet, you know. He just said, oh yeah, this would happen, this is what happened, this is what happened.
Yeah.
Keep talking, Rich. It's gonna come back to you. As long as you keep talking, it's gonna come back.
Because the good thing about all of us, the Reggies, the Larrys, some of the guys that came in behind us, definitely the guys I still remember that were older than us. We played the game and we competed against each other at a real high level back in Brooklyn. We competed. You know, we all knew each other. We knew I knew Larry. I know. You know, we all knew each other. Even the players that came in behind us, we all knew each other. We respected some of them didn't like each other, but we respect each other. We respect the ability of the other guy, of a guy like you and the guys Watson and the guys that you know. We knew a guy like Jake could hit a ball as hard as anybody out there because Jake took care of himself. So he's strong and he know he's strong and you know, but we all competed against each other and we had our ups and we all beat each other at times when we felt like we shouldn't have lost, you know.
We beat up against each other.
Right.
And then we went and played together.
Right. That's what the key thing is.
That was
the big thing. We all, in some ways, we all needed each other to keep it going.
Agreed.
You know, we all needed each other to keep it going, whether it was the new generation, the old generation of experienced ball players, stuff like that. We needed each other to keep it going, you know. You get some guys, I can't stand that guy. Like, I look at people on TV now. The Yankee fan can't stand the Red Sox fan. But if that Red Sox player comes and plays with the Yankees and they win the World Series, they love his ass.
Yeah, like Johnny Damon.
Roger Clemens.
Just the name of
Dallas Strawberry. Look, Dallas Strawberry left the Mets, come to the Yankees, won the World Series.
1-2.
Yeah. Who else? In sports is that way.
What's the name too? David Wells.
He was with.
He's with the Red Sox. You kidding? With Toronto, came to us. Yeah, San Diego.
A lot of you never know what lies for you down the road. You never know. The guy you can't stand might be with you. You never know.
Let me ask you this last question, and we're gonna close this out because
this
is just to say this for everybody. This is a normal conversation that I have with Tony on the phone. This is just an interview. This is a normal conversation for us. Do you have any regrets about this game?
No. I just wish, to this day, that I could have took more guys and got them to go to another level. There was too many good ball players down there was playing. I'm not saying they would have did good. I'm not saying they would have did bad.
Right.
But you don't know how you're going to turn out until you get in the fire. You never know. You never know. I can look at a guy and say, I think that guy would did well. But until I take him out there and put him out there, I don't know how he would have turned out to be. But you still owe it to yourself. Of all the ball players that played out there for the last 50-some years, every single one of them felt like they could probably play at the next level. But so you need to go there. You need to try it. I know some guys that were offered to go to the highest level and didn't want to go. They didn't want to leave home.
Yeah, I know.
Your name. Fatty could have went to the next level in his prime. Ricky Warfield did it. He went to a higher level. The big man. Oh, man, what's his name? Galloway did it. Jim Galloway did it.
Tone, Ricky Warfield, I heard his name numerous times. What type of ball player was he? I just never heard about his game. I heard that
he was a slim outfielder, could hit the ball all over the park and could run. But he could hit. He could really hit the ball all over the park and could hit. And County Sports in Long Island took him. He was like one of the first African Americans to play for County Sports. He and the big man, Galloway. Mm-hmm. They were so dominant at their game that the outside world took them in. One gave Galloway a down payment on a house.
What?
And he got him a job working for Pepsi. They hooked him up because, again, like I keep telling people, we play softball, you play basketball, you play. A lot of these guys that play the game that we play are presidents and CEOs of companies. Their job that's their hobby of playing softball. So they got the money to say, look, if this guy gonna get me over the top against a certain team in tournaments, from a team coming from Connecticut, a team coming from California, that man that got that money, the money don't mean nothing to him. Fatty didn't want to leave Brooklyn. Fatty was good enough to play out there in Jersey back in the 70s at a young age. He didn't want to leave Brooklyn.
I can imagine a Fatty out there, man. Oh, my God.
In his prime. He could have left. Dennis was decent enough to go to a super high level, but he had his brothers. They ran a private sanitation company, sanitation. Marvin Jenkins and Dennis. That's what they did. Ricky Warfield left. Galloway left. And they took care of Galloway. I mean, let's say about it. Galloway was bigger than Dennis. He was taller than Dennis. He was. I don't know how
6'8", 6'8".
Yeah, man. And listen, he's hitting a Dudley. You know, I know two guys right now that play in Long Island. Bill Linehan. His father, I believe it was his father or his older brother. He said Galloway was on their team. He said Galloway was hitting the ball in the parking lot. That the little kids were going to get the ball. He was hitting it so far. The little kids were going to get it. And then every time the little kids would bring a ball back, the team would chip in and give the kids like 50 cents. But Galloway was hit in the woods where people didn't want to go in the woods because of the bugs and the raccoons and all that stuff down there, But they liked him so much, Al, that they took care of him outside of softball. These are people that you meet outside of, because if you a good teammate, you got a good personality, they like you, they're gonna look out for you. Money don't mean nothing to them. The money don't mean nothing to them. And Ricky was a good ball player. Ricky Warfield was nice, hit the ball.
I heard his name a lot, and that's why I asked that question. Speedy.
And
Speedy talked to me about him a lot.
He stood deep in the box and ran up. So when he went down to Virginia, they called him the New York. He's doing the New York Shuffle. You're doing the New York Shuffle when you come down here. But he was a good, nice. He was Heavy's boy. Him and Heavy was really, really tight.
Really tight. Yeah. I thought him and Chris LeGree was tight.
He might have been maybe from the Brownsville. I didn't know. You're talking about what you call him. I think you're talking about Wahoo.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, Wahoo was.
My apologies.
Those Brownsville guys,
Yeah, I'm sorry. My apologies. Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's who your personality makes a big difference, man. When you go places, you can't go somewhere and act like you don't belong there. You got to go there and be a part of what is already there. Go there and be a part of it and make them better. Make them better. Make them go, Tony. That guy, we were talking about this earlier. That guy, that's what they do. That's what they used to do with you. They used to ask me about you. They asked me about Derek Oliver. They used to ask me about a lot of Richard. They used to always say, Richard don't say nothing. Richard, back in the day, Richard didn't say nothing. Richard just produced.
Yeah. You hear Rich talk, you know it's a problem.
Yeah, Richard,
he raised his voice, you knew it was a problem.
Yeah, Richard was very quiet, low key, could hit, could run, and could throw your ass out.
Love Rich. That's my man. Love Rich.
Richard had a very good arm. So
love Rich. That's what I got.
But we good, Al.
Okay.
We good.
Okay. Tony, I appreciate everything you do, man. Everything you do.
Again, guys. Again.
Gotta have the right credentials. You gotta put the disclaimer out there, Toe. You can't just say it if you can play. These are the guys from Brooklyn. You can't just do that, Toe. You can't just say if you can play. Now you gotta have the right disclaimer, man. Don't bring your brother's birth certificate. Don't do that.
Hey, tell Crime I'm waiting for him.
Crime ain't coming out there. That's my dog.
You don't think he coming out?
No.
He gonna get that itch.
I would love me and him talk about this all the time. He'll tell you this. I thought he was taking it seriously 96 of the time. He said he was just playing. Like, I'm serious. I've seen that dude hit and field. Yeah. He said he wasn't even doing it like that.
Really?
He was a hardball player,
Right. He loved his baseball.
His baseball. Got a number of respect for my dude. And I always told him, I said, boy. Yeah. Now, he's another one who'll get pissed too. Should be playing that. And, like, why you got this dude in front of me? I shouldn't be better than him. That's my dude, But, again.
I think a lot of them guys have outgrown that stuff now.
I mean. Hey, I'm not too sure about that. but we're gonna leave it at that. We dudes are still living in their 20s. So
come on, I need some outfielders. I need some outfielders in my league. I need some outfielders, so I'm gonna do a ESPN commercial in tri-state area.
We're gonna do a workout. We're gonna do a workout in the park and see who show up for you.
Hey, let's see what happens, man. I don't see anybody walking in with no cane and crutches and stuff.
I told you, it got to be a disclaimer on that thing. You're gonna tell them dudes coming out. They're just gonna show up. Think you just want them on the team. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, the Giants won.
They beat. No, they didn't.
34-17.
They beat the Eagles?
Yes, they did. 34-17.
Wow, I
But we
can't wait to
couldn't
hear
beat,
what the Eagle. I
but we
can't wait to
couldn't
hear
beat
what
the
Eagle
Saints.
Nation gonna say tomorrow. Did they
But we
use?
couldn't beat the Saints. That lady that sit in my office told she an Eagle fan. I wish I was going into work tomorrow. Tear her
Wow,
up. Yeah.
wow. I can't wait to see the highlights.
Crab said thanks, but no thanks. I told you. I told you, dude. I told you he is not going out there, man.
Wow. All right. I'll find out. I'll find out where you live at. Tell him breakfast on me. I got it.
Reg, I need to get Forster number, man. Real talk. Like I really want to hook up with him and connect with him, see if I can get him on the show. That's one thing T.O. wanted to do. He wanted me to get Junior, Forster. He wanted me to get Black. I missed out on Russ. So I want to get these guys, and do something for T.O. So hopefully I can get them on here. But Tone, thank you.
All right, buddy.
Appreciate you anytime. Let everybody know about that league. Lisa
softball, based out of Long Island. 60 and over. You play twice a week. 60 games. Good fields. They have award nights. They have banquets. I mean, it's nice. It'll get that blood percolating in all you guys that still want to play a little bit. So still think you got a little left in the tank. Come on out.
You probably need to bring those dudes up to St. John's and let them wear them dudes out.
I probably could do it.
Okay.
I probably could do it if the game gonna start on time. They have games. You said 1 o'clock. The people don't start showing up at 2:30.
It'd be a 4-hour game, huh?
Yeah, I don't want to do that no more.
Nah, we good. It'll be timed.
Okay, sound good.
All
right, buddy.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you again, brother.
Have a good one.
All right, you have a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying on for the 3 hours with my man Tony, the Hall of Famer. Shout out to everybody who tuned in tonight. My man Marv, Reg, always love. Crime, always love. Dio, Pops, thank you. Herm, I saw you in there. Got to get you on the show as well. Barry, Jamal, I saw you on there. Everybody that tune in on a regular basis, man, thank you for always supporting me. I really appreciate you guys. You don't know. I love what I do, and I love these conversations, man. I've got a number of respect for my OGs. My platform is always your platform. We're going to do a lot of great things with A60. We got other new things coming down the pipeline. Please stay tuned for that. And everybody have a great night. It was a great night. My Giants won. So I'm going to close out on that. And I'll talk to everybody later. Have a great weekend. Peace and love.